Kicking off our countdown at number 10 is Sophia Bush. One Tree Hill fans were absolutely thrilled when she got married to her former co-star Chad Michael Murray. They were on-screen lovers, so when they began dating in real life too, fans thought it would be like the perfect love story that we all hoped for, like me especially. They ended up getting married at a very young age, Sophia being 22 and Chad being 23 at the time. But they ended up separating just 5 months after getting married. Their split was a big dramatic scandal because reports claimed that Chad had cheated on her with Paris Hilton while they were filming the horror movie House of Wax. Sophia has talked about it in recent years and said they were young and had no business getting married in the first place. She also said she felt a lot of pressure from production for them to get married. She said the producers often pushed them to be together for the sake of the show, and a big reason why she went through with the marriage was because she felt that she would let the producers down, and also the fans. It was a short-lived marriage, but the worst part was they had to work on the show together for years after they got divorced. That'd be so awkward. Up next, number 9, we have Kim Kardashian and Kris Humphrey. It's hard to say which one of them regretted the marriage more, so I'm gonna put both of them because it seems pretty mutual. Their relationship and wedding was highly documented on her reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Their relationship moved very quickly. They were only publicly together for a few months before he proposed and then engaged for just 90 days before they tied the knot. During the time, many people thought it was just for the reality show and the fact that they were getting their own special event called Kim's Fairy Tale Wedding, a Kardashian event. Their wedding aired and ratings were very high, obviously. It earned them 4.4 million viewers the first night and then 4 million the second night. But Kim and Kris had their issues, which we saw on the TV show, if you watched it. After just 72 hours of marriage, Kim filed for divorce for irreconcilable differences and listed the separation date as the date that she filed it. Like, she wanted it to immediately be put in place. She later admitted that yes, she loved Kris, but that she got caught up in everything else that came with it, like the media and the money. Kris later responded to her legal papers and claimed that their 72-hour marriage was based on fraud and that Kim was trying to boost the ratings for their family TV show at the time. Their divorce was finalized in 2013, 2 years after she filed it. It was a very long legal battle, to say the least. Sliding into number 8, we got Miley Cyrus. There is no denying the love between Miley and her ex-husband, Liam Hemsworth. They were actually together for over a decade on and off. They were engaged twice before tying the knot officially back in December of 2018. Maybe regret isn't the right word when it comes to their marriage, but Miley opened up about the reasoning for their divorce and revealed that she got married for the wrong reasons. She loved him and said that she still does and always will, but admitted that their marriage was a distraction. Their decision to get married came after they tragically lost their home in the Malibu wildfires. She explained that she lost everything inside her home and that she filled that void with their relationship. She told Howard Stern, I quote, "I lost everything. I just clung to what I had left of that house, which was me and him." But after getting married, she quickly realized that there was just too much conflict in their relationship and that it was not what they wanted. They got divorced officially just 7 months after being married, and she released a song called What the F Do I Know? And one of the lyrics is, I quote, "Maybe getting married just to cause a distraction," which just confirmed the things that she said in her interview. Moving on to number 7, we have Britney Spears. Maybe you forgot the time that she got married to a childhood friend of hers, Jason Alexander. Back in 2004, the two of them got married in Las Vegas and set the record for one of the shortest marriages in history. Worse than Kim and Kris. They were married for just 55 hours before Britney called it off and filed for an annulment. It all began and ended on New Year's in 2004 when she invited him to Las Vegas to celebrate the new year. Jason spoke about their relationship in 2012 and revealed that they had been childhood friends for many years, but that they were friends with benefits as they got older. So how did that turn into marriage? He said that they were very intoxicated when they jokingly said that they should get married that night. But Jason did have feelings for her behind closed doors, and so he went with it because he liked her. He said, "I went with my feelings. I was in love with her. I feel like she felt the same way. However, Britney did not feel the same way, and her annulment papers said, lacked understanding of her actions to the extent that she was incapable of agreeing to the marriage. Jason admitted that he was actually hurt by her words and her decision to end the marriage so quickly. Rolling into number 6, we have Russell Brand. In more recent interviews, Katy Perry and Russell have said that they do not regret their marriage with one another. But it was not always this way. They got married in 2010, which lasted 14 months before they called it quits. Well, him. When they first split, Russell did not have very nice things to say about her or their relationship, and his opinion stayed that way for a few years. In his 2015 documentary called Brand, A Second Coming, he said their short-lived marriage ended because of fame and said that she was the kind of person that he hated. He said, "I'm associated with the very thing I detest. Vapid, vacuous, plastic, constructed, mindless celebrity." Quite the thing to say about someone that you once loved. But his opinion and view on the marriage has softened up in the last 5 years. He now says that he looks at their experience more fondly now and said that he feels warm towards her, calling her an extraordinary woman. As for Katy, she has always been firm on the fact that she does not regret getting married to him and claims to have loved him very much. And if you haven't heard this story, it was actually Russell's decision to end the marriage. He actually texted her that he wanted a divorce on December 31st, 2011. A text message. Halfway through our list at number 5, we have Drew Barrymore. The actress has been in the Hollywood spotlight since a very young age, and at 19 years old, she jumped into a marriage with Jeremy Thomas, who was 31 years old at the time. Their marriage is also one of the shortest marriages in history, only lasting a couple of days. Drew has openly talked about the marriage and divorce and said, "I realized my mistake on the day that I married him. It wasn't because she didn't love him though. Their relationship moved very quickly and she was also very young. Just 6 months into dating, they decided to get married very spontaneously. They were partying with a group of friends at 4 a.m. when the conversation came up that they should get married because they were so in love at the time. Jeremy arranged a 24-hour minister to perform the ceremony at 5:30 a.m. that same morning. They changed their outfits quickly and had their little ceremony on the roof of a bar. The next day, Drew actually had to leave to film Boy on the Side, and they were supposed to go to Hawaii for their honeymoon afterwards, after she was done filming. Jeremy revealed that Drew ended up going to Hawaii alone and then called him while she was there and ended things. Yikes. In the number 4 spot is Chris Judd. The dancer was actually married to Jennifer Lopez back in 2001, but revealed why it did not last very long. The two of them fell in love while on set of her video Love Don't Cost a Thing back in 2001. They moved very quickly also, getting married just 1 month of being engaged. Their marriage lasted 9 months and not longer than that because of the famous lifestyle. He explained what tore them apart and said that it was tough to be in that kind of limelight. He said, "Your privacy is breached. You're no longer a normal person. Our wedding was a circus. I think several people got arrested trying to climb up a mountain trying to sneak in." The famous lifestyle of hers just bothered him, but when asking why they split, he simply says that it just did not work out. But things got a bit sticky in 2006 when J-Lo sued him, claiming that he demanded $5 million to keep him from publishing a book containing private details about her and their past relationship. So it might be safe to say that she has some regrets too. Up next, number 3, we have Jennifer Esposito. She was married to Bradley Cooper for just 4 months back in 2007 and addressed details of their split in her 2014 book called Jennifer's Way. The actress talked about her failed marriage and threw plenty of shade at her ex. In her book, she talked about their relationship and said she ignored all the red flags that were there from the beginning, which we often do. She said he was funny, smart, cocky, arrogant, and a master manipulator. I didn't necessarily find him that attractive, but I figured that I could enjoy his sense of humor and nonsense for a while. Yikes. Bradley Cooper's hot, just saying. They were only dating for months before they got engaged and then tied the knots just 2 months later. 4 months after becoming husband and wife, she filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. It seemed like she regretted it right away because in her book, she described the red flags as storming in like a marching band. Sniping the number 2 spot is Mario Lopez and Ali Landry. I'm not sure who regrets it more. Maybe Mario because he cheated on her days before their wedding, or Ali because he cheated on her days before their wedding. They were only married for 2 weeks before they called it quits because rumors had surfaced that he had cheated on her. In his memoir titled Just Between Us, he admitted to cheating on her at his bachelor party and said that's what made him realize he wasn't in love with her like he thought he was. He said he went on to marry her because he felt that it was too late at the time to split up at that point. Ali didn't know about the infidelity before they got married and said she believed him when he lied and said that he did not cheat. Mario also went into details in his book about how Ali apparently changed into an image-obsessed model and pressured him into proposing to her. So it seems like the wedding wasn't something that he ever really wanted. So... In our number 1 spot, with not much surprise, is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Maybe they didn't regret it in the beginning, but I guarantee they are regretting it now more than ever. You might argue which one of them regrets it more based on whose side of the story you believe, but their divorce has to be one of the worst ones in Hollywood history. It led to a highly documented lawsuit that has been damaging to both of their careers and probably their bank accounts. They first met back in 2009 on the set of The Rum Diary, but did not start dating until 2012. In 2014, Amber was spotted wearing an engagement ring, and then things seemed to be going very good for them at that time. The following year, they got married in a private ceremony at their home in LA, but the marriage only lasted 1 year. In 2016, Amber filed for divorce and accused him of physical abuse. She filed a temporary restraining order against him, and they settled a $7 million settlement outside of court. That could have been the end to everything, as the divorce was finalized in 2017, but here we are 3 years later. I'm not going to get into the details of this current lawsuit because I think we can all understand why they both have regrets about their marriage for their own reasons. Starting us off at number 10, we have Pamela Anderson. The second half of this marriage, Kid Rock, may have similar feelings, but Pamela has opened up about the marriage more than he has. Their marriage is famously known because it happened suddenly on a huge yacht in St. Tropez back in 2006. Their first engagement was called off in 2003, and then 3 years later, they got married in July on a boat. The yacht party was a huge success, but their marriage was not. It was actually very short-lived. Pamela filed for divorce in November of 2006, and it was finalized in 2007. Back in 2018, she spoke candidly about their past marriage during an interview with The Hollywood Reporter. She admitted that she never spoke to him again after their split. For her, it was kind of like an out of sight, out of mind thing. Let's pretend it never happened. She does admit the wedding shouldn't have happened, but does not slam him personally for anything. Rumors actually went around saying that the Borat movie was the cause of their divorce because Pamela had a cameo in it and apparently Kid Rock was mad. However, those two did shut those rumors down quickly. So if you see that on the web, it's not true. Moving on to number 9, we have Renee Zellweger. Maybe it's just me, but I'm always surprised when I read about her marriage to Kenny Chesney because it seems so random to me. Like, I always forget that they were married. They first met back in January of 2005 at NBC's Concert of Hope Tsunami Telethon. Reports say Renee told Jay Leno that there weren't any sparks between the two of them that night, but they still exchanged phone numbers. Sparks must have grown between them because they dated shortly after, and only a few months after dating, they got married. Their wedding was on May 9th, 2005 in the US Virgin Islands, where they invited 45 close friends and family members. Although it was a beautiful wedding, their marriage did not last long and came to an end just 4 months later in September. Renee filed for an annulment and cited fraud as the reason. That statement spread like wildfire and everyone was throwing shade at Kenny Chesney. But Renee came to his rescue saying, I quote, "Fraud is simply language and is not a reflection of Kenny's character." I feel like she should have clarified that, like, in the beginning, or maybe just filed for, like, irreconcilable differences or something like that. Like, why file for fraud? In spot number 8, we have Nikki Hilton and Todd Andrew Meester. Another marriage that you might have forgotten ever happened. Nikki was young and in love when they got married, but she is the first to agree that the marriage never should have happened in the first place. They were actually in Vegas when they made the impulsive decision to tie the knot, but their marriage only lasted 85 days. They got married in August 2004, and in November 2004, it was announced that a Las Vegas judge granted them an annulment. One of the couple's representatives released a statement saying both parties have ended the marriage amicably and they remain good friends. Nikki was only 21 years old at the time and Todd was 33, but they did remain on good terms until they eventually moved on and just met other people. So let's just pretend it never happened. In spot number 7, we have Amelia Warner. Out of anyone on this list, she probably has the least amount of regret, only because her marriage to Colin Farrell may not actually have been legally binding. Amelia was only 19 years old at the time when she married Colin during a ceremony on a Tahiti beach. It was back in 2002 that their unexpected marriage happened. But one thing that wasn't so surprising was the fact that it did not last very long. No offense to them. Just 4 months after they tied the knot, they called it off. But Amelia has always talked about it and demands that the wedding was not actually real, despite some people not believing her. During an interview in 2011, she said, "We didn't actually get married. It's not actually true. I think we've been too polite to deny it. We had a ceremony on a beach in Tahiti that was by no means legal and we knew it wasn't. It was just a thing we did on holiday. We booked them on the activities desk at the hotel." Regardless of the marriage or not marriage, she said it was still heartbreaking when the relationship ended. What a weird thing to do on vacation. Let's go get married. Next up at number 6, we have Carmen Electra and Dennis Rodman. We're not totally sure who regrets it more, but their wedding has been remembered as one of the most strange and sudden circumstances in Hollywood gossip history. The two of them got married in Las Vegas on November 14th, 1998, after what people described as an all-night bender. Well, that is the ingredient to a successful marriage. An all-night bender. Only 9 days later, Dennis filed for an annulment and claimed that he was deeply intoxicated at the time and was not in the right state of mind to make that decision. For a brief period of time, it seemed like they had reconciled and tried to work things out. They were seen together in public in early 1999, but by March of that year, they had filed for divorce, which resulted in their marriage only lasting less than 6 months. After the divorce, they moved on to other relationships. Yeah, don't get married drunk. Don't do it. Halfway through our list, number 5 is Jeremy Renner and Sonny Pacheco. You may not have known that the actor was even married because they got married quietly just over a year ago. But less than a year after they quietly tied the knot, his then wife filed for divorce and cited the reasoning as fraud. But she actually meant fraud. They were married for 10 months and things got messy very quickly. In the court papers, Sonny demanded that he return her passport, which she claims was stolen, as well as her birth certificate and her social security card. She cites irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split and says their prenuptial agreement should be violated because it is based on fraud. On top of that, she's also asking for physical custody of their daughter Ava, as well as spousal support, use of their Range Rover, and for Jeremy to pay for her moving expenses and her rent. Her court documents have a lot to say, but the actor has remained quiet since their split. That is one messy split. Sliding into number 4, we have Elizabeth Moss. We only know that she feels sour about her marriage to Fred because she called it traumatic, awful, and horrible. All words you never really want to hear when describing a relationship. The Handmaid's Tale actress got married to Fred in October 2009, but they ended their relationship just 8 months later in the summer of 2010. The two of them met when she was a guest on Saturday Night Live, where Fred had worked at the time. The divorce was filed for irreconcilable differences, but Fred later on admitted that he had been a terrible husband. Those were actually his words, not mine. During a 2012 interview, she spoke about him and said, "One of the greatest things I heard someone say about him is he's so great at doing impersonations. But the greatest impersonation he does is that of a normal person. To me, that sums it up." It wasn't the first time she actually spoke about her horrible experience being married to him. However, he has always taken responsibility for that. In our third spot is Pamela Anderson and Rick Solomon. I am sorry, Pam, you are on this list twice because you've had a handful of marriages and divorces. I'm sorry. However, this one has a happier ending. Yay! The two of them have actually been married a couple of times. They got married back in 2007 2000, but it was annulled just 1 year later in 2008. Then they got married again a decade later in 2014, but divorced just a year later in 2015. So to say that they have had a rocky relationship would be an understatement. But in recent years, he began telling media outlets that he wanted to get married to her again. And they did. That is right. This past December of 2020, they said "I do" for a third time in Las Vegas. The marriage wasn't very conventional, as it took place during an hour-and-a-half break she had between her magic shows. It was a very quick and small ceremony. When asked why they got married, once again, sources close to them say they really are in love and have remained friends for the last 15 years, despite their first two marriages not working out. Sniping our number 2 spot is Nicolas Cage and Lisa Marie Presley. Some people might argue that Lisa was the one who had more regret because she actually ended an engagement to someone else when she met Nicolas at a party. Whoa. She was engaged to John Ozakia in 2000, but ended their engagement to be with the actor. Their relationship moved very quickly, and she was engaged once again, but to Nicholas, not too long after calling off her previous engagement. They were officially married on August 10th, 2002, but Nick filed for divorce on November 25th, 2002, just a few months after. So maybe he has more regret if he was the one who filed for divorce. When asked about the divorce at the time, he said they should have never been married in the first place. So that says a lot. I think they both have regrets. In our number 1 spot is Cher and Greg Allman. Their marriage is one that went down in history, and although there may have been some regrets at the time, Cher will always have a place for him in her heart. The two of them got married back in 1975, but separated just over a week later. They ended up getting back together and tried to work on the relationship, but when they were on the verge of an official divorce, she found out that she was actually pregnant with their son Elijah. Their marriage eventually did come to an end, and Cher revealed that his heroin and alcohol addiction was just too much for her to handle. She admitted that when she called him to say the relationship was over, he actually couldn't understand what she was saying. She said, I quote, "He was so high he didn't even understand me." Sadly, Greg passed away in 2017, but Cher tweeted out her condolences.
At number 10, Jim Carrey and Lauren Holly. Jim and Lauren's romance came as quickly as it went. For years, Jim had been infatuated with Lauren after having watched her on the soap opera All My Children, and so when it came to doing a screen test with her for Ace Ventura: Pet Detective, he felt as though she was already part of his world. Though she turned down the role in that film, she was persuaded to perform alongside Jim in Dumb and Dumber, and it was then that their romance began. The two eventually got married in 1996 atop a mountain because, again, nothing says romance like looking over the edge of a cliff. It seems as though there is some kind of jinx that comes with getting married on a cliff, because much like the mountain's edge, their marriage came to an end. Now, unlike many other celebrity marriages, this one didn't really end with disdain. Instead, it ended just because they were kind of over it. Their romance came at the emergence of paparazzi culture, and so as the biggest couple at the time, the paparazzi were following the couple everywhere, and even setting up camp in their backyard just to catch a glimpse of the two. Jim and Lauren ended their marriage 9 months later, with some thinking that it was because of cheating or career jealousy. There was no bad blood, so maybe things just ended because they weren't meant to be. But they probably regretted their decision to wed because of the invasion of privacy from the paparazzi. At number 9, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens. Mike Tyson's first marriage to his wife Robin Givens was a rocky one. After 11 months of dating, they got married in 1988 in the wake of Robin's pregnancy, and after Mike gave Robin and her mother around $10 million to get them settled. In Mike's memoir, he accused Robin of marrying him and locking him into a relationship for her own gain, as he alleged that her pregnancy and subsequent miscarriage were faked in order to get him to marry her. In the media, Mike was dragged through the mud. There were allegations of abuse and mistreatment on Mike's part, and the infamous Barbara Walters interview did not help with his image. The interview was originally supposed to be a one-on-one profile of Mike, but before the interview, Robin allegedly pulled Barbara aside and told her that she didn't have the whole truth about them. Robin was then invited to join the interview, where she opened up about things that she sustained while married to Mike and commenting on how he's been treating her.
And I said, I don't deserve this. I never had this in my life before, and I'm not going to tolerate this.
Soon after the interview, Robin filed for divorce from Mike and was later caught cheating on him with Brad Pitt. Mike most definitely regrets marrying Robin, as he said so in his book, and others refer to his marriage to Robin as the quote, one that ruined him. Before I carry on with this list, I'd like to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video, and if you're looking for some more awesome content to enjoy after this video, check out my gaming channel Viper Girl for some more fun with me. At number 8, Luann and Tom D'Agostino. Real Housewives of New York cast members Luann and Tom D'Agostino weren't the greatest pair, and anyone on set could have told you that. The other cast members actually warned Luann about Tom, saying that he was untrustworthy and that he was still in love with his ex. Still, Luann continued her romance and the two got married on New Year's Eve in 2016. At the end of the show's 6th season, it was revealed that one of the cast members had compromising photos of Tom kissing another woman just days after his and Luann's engagement party. Soon it became apparent to the public that there were some serious problems in their relationship, as Luann and Tom got into a heated argument at a restaurant, which ended with Luann slapping Tom across the face. This heated relationship and Tom's subsequent cheating never subsided, as days before their divorce announcement, Tom was caught with another woman, but at that point, no one was really surprised. They were only married for 7 months, and those were the craziest 7 months of their lives. Luann regrets not having listened to her castmates when they warned her about Tom, but at least that chapter has closed. At number 7, Axl Rose and Aaron Everly. The tumultuous relationship of Axl Rose and Aaron Everly is one that is certainly ingrained in the rock world. The two met while Axl, the frontman for Guns N' Roses, was still a struggling musician. She became one of the most important people in Axl's life, being the inspiration for the song Sweet Child of Mine. After meeting at a party in 1986, the two formed an instant connection. Despite being a good-looking match on the outside, they had a tumultuous relationship, but this didn't stop them from getting married in a Las Vegas ceremony in 1990. Axl allegedly threatened to harm himself if she didn't marry him, so things were already off to a rocky start. The marriage was annulled in 1991, just 9 months after getting married, and in 1994, Aaron filed a civil suit against Axl where she alleged that she was being abused by her then husband. Since the split, Aaron has auctioned off memorabilia that she had kept from her days with Axl and the band, looking to rid herself of any trace of her old ties with them. She surely regretted this relationship because of how messy it was and the way she was treated, and the fact that she wanted to get rid of so much of her past also speaks volumes. At number 6, Chris Kattan and Sunshine Tutt. Actor and SNL alum Chris Kattan and his ex-wife Sunshine Tutt had an incredibly short marriage that only lasted 8 weeks. Actor and SNL alum Chris Kattan and his ex-wife Sunshine Tutt had an incredibly short marriage that only lasted about 8 weeks and left them both in cheating scandals. The two started dating in 2005 and tied the knot in June 2008, but it seems as though all the time in the world could not prepare them for the commitment they were about to give each other, because 2 months later, they were in other people's beds. When the news broke of their split, Chris was the first one to come forward to say that he actually caught Sunshine in bed with her ex, but after this accusation, Sunshine's family said that it was actually Chris who was seeking comfort elsewhere. In the end, they just chalked their failed marriage up to issues, but I'm assuming they regret this whole thing and getting married in the first place. Clearly, they weren't ready for this kind of lifelong commitment, so that was just a waste of time and money in the end. At number 5, Chad Johnson and Evelyn Lozada. Chad Johnson, also known as Chad Ochocinco, and ex-wife Evelyn Lozada, were only married for 2 months, but so much happened in that short amount of time to permanently damage their relationship. Their relationship was intense, but it wasn't until after they got married that the world learned just how intense it was. After dating for less than a year, the two were wed in a 4th of July ceremony in 2012, but just 2 months later, there came an incident that broke them. Evelyn recalled finding a receipt in Chad's car for items that prompted the idea that Chad was cheating. The two fought and ended with Chad seriously injuring his wife. Chad was arrested for battery and domestic violence, and they divorced shortly after the incident. Evelyn did an interview about the ordeal where she opened up about her feelings on the situation.
He was lying, and I told him, I never forget telling him, I said, I'm not sticking by you through this. I don't care if my marriage is the laughing stock.
And the two have gone their separate ways since. At number 4, Elizabeth Taylor and Conrad Hilton. Elizabeth Taylor, one of Hollywood's most memorable icons, was married 8 times and had many stories and encounters to recall throughout her life, but one of her shortest and most regrettable marriages was to Conrad Hilton. The two were only married for 205 days before undoing their marriage after feeling neglected and abused by her new husband. She was 18 at the time of her marriage, but shortly after their wedding, Liz recalled how indifferent Conrad was to her and how hurt she was when he spoke to her using abusive language. Liz won her divorce on grounds of mental cruelty, she refused alimony, and took back her maiden name. It was almost like it never happened, and Liz wanted it that way. She knew she deserved better and refused to put up with Conrad's treatment of her. During their honeymoon, the two reportedly fought a lot and spent more time apart than they did together. She later told news sources that her idea of marriage was very naive, and so she regretted the decision. She lived a better life without him anyway. At number 3, Zsa Gabor and Philippe d'Alba. Actress Zsa Gabor was married more times than anyone on this list, having been wed 9 times in her life. Some say she liked getting married more so for the pomp and circumstance than Some say she liked getting married more so for the celebration than for the actual marriage part, but who knows, she was living her best life. Her marriage to her 8th husband, Philippe d'Alba, was the shortest, having lasted less than a day, but not for the reason that you might expect. She didn't regret her marriage to Philippe, she regretted her marriage to her 7th husband, Michael O'Hara. Why? Well, because he ruined her 8th marriage. After marrying Philippe, she learned just a few hours later that her marriage to O'Hara hadn't legally ended, so her newest marriage was illegal. Zsa and Philippe had their marriage annulled the next day, and they never got back together, deciding that their marriage was just too weird. At number 2, Ike and Tina Turner. Tina Turner is an absolute legend, and to think that anyone would even have the nerve to hurt this queen is so sad. Ike and Tina were a musical powerhouse, but they had a tumultuous relationship, leaving Tina regretting having ever known him. The two met while Tina was still a teenager and began performing together. In 1962, the two got married and continued to perform together for the following decade. Though they were a successful duo, Ike had been abusing Tina behind the scenes, causing her so much pain that she didn't deserve, and even prompting her to try taking her own life. After surviving her attempt, she made it her mission to leave Ike and begin a fresh start. And that is exactly what she did, and she became an even bigger star because of it. Finally, at number 1, Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Prince Charles and Princess Diana were one of the most beloved celebrity couples. The whole world loved them. Well, they loved Diana. She was the people's princess, but behind closed doors, she was sad and neglected by her husband. She was always second best in Charles' eyes, having never gotten over his infatuation with Camilla Parker Bowles, a woman that he was told he could never have. The two got married in 1981 and had 2 kids together, but because of Charles' extramarital affairs and Diana's unhappiness in the relationship, they got divorced in 1996. Diana regretted marrying Charles because she always knew that there would be 3 in the marriage: her, Charles, and Camilla. She deserved so much better, but got Charles instead. She was loved by the whole world, and eventually, after she was freed from the royal family, that became enough. I mean, have you seen that revenge dress? I'm sure I'm not alone in wishing that she had more time to enjoy that freedom. At number 10, Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter. Reality stars Brody Jenner and Caitlyn Carter had a short-lived marriage that lasted just over a year, and though they've been together since 2013, marriage seemed to be one of their most regrettable decisions as a couple. Not because it was toxic, but because it just wasn't right for them. Technically, they weren't even legally married, but they saw themselves as married, so I guess that's just good enough for me. The couple saw themselves as best friends and made their bond stronger after getting married in Indonesia in 2018 before splitting in the summer of 2019, but it seems that during this time they were having second thoughts about their commitments to one another. Caitlyn wrote about her thoughts around her relationship with Brody, where she said that she started wondering early on whether he was really the right partner for her. Caitlyn also said that they did a lot of growing apart during the first year of marriage, and they both knew that things just weren't working out. There were a number of reasons why their marriage didn't work out, like their personal journeys and even their work environment, saying that working on the hills wasn't good for them. Bottom line here is that sometimes even marrying your best friend can have its faults. At number 9, Eminem and Kim Scott. Rapper Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, and ex-wife Kim Scott had a rocky relationship from the very beginning. They met in the late 80s when Marshall was 15 and Kim was 13. They lived together at his family home and later began a romantic relationship, moving in together and having a daughter. After years of being an on and off again couple, the two got married just before Marshall's first major tour. But it was then that Kim saw Marshall and their relationship without her rose-colored glasses and where she began to regret her marriage to the rapper. Kim said that after the tour, Marshall got a big ego and started treating her as someone who was not worthy of his love and presence since he was such a big star. Kim also alleged that her husband had been cheating on her. The rapper's career had a very negative impact on their relationship, and so 2 years after tying the knot, they got divorced. They eventually tried things again in 2006, but that didn't even last the whole year. Before I continue on with the video, please do consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far. We love seeing you guys support the channel, so go and smash that thumbs up button. At number 8, Vanessa Morgan and Michael Kovac. Now, there isn't much information out there about these two, but I'm going to include it because I want to hear your thoughts on this. Riverdale actress Vanessa Morgan and Chicago White Sox pitcher Michael Kovac had a very short-lived marriage, but no one really knows for sure why that is. I would imagine that both parties regretted their wedding because of how things ended so quickly and how publicized everything was, but it's still a mystery as to why they called it quits. The two got married in early January 2020, but just 6 months later, they were done. News broke of their split just 3 days after Vanessa announced that she was pregnant with the couple's first child, and some even speculated that Michael filed for divorce because the baby wasn't his, but that was proven wrong as representatives from both parties confirmed that Michael was the father. There were also rumors that Michael had cheated, but again, nothing has been confirmed. Looking at the past few years that Michael has had, having gone through an injury that prevented him from playing in 2019, to the pandemic pushing back the 2020 baseball season, maybe this just took a toll on Michael in a way that we might not understand. On the bright side, the two seem to be co-parenting following the birth of their son River, so maybe they're just better off as friends. At number 7, Eddie Murphy and Tracy Edmonds. Comedian Eddie Murphy had his quarrel with love. After a number of failed relationships, he thought he found the one when he met producer Tracy Edmonds. They dated for a few months before getting engaged, eventually leading to a lavish $500,000 wedding in Bora Bora. You know things are getting serious when you take it all the way to Bora Bora. Their wedding, which was attended by 25 people, wasn't technically legally binding, but they had planned to go through the whole process upon getting back to the United States after their ceremony, but unfortunately that didn't end up happening. It is said that things started to go downhill quite quickly after the ceremony, as people reported Eddie being standoffish and not wanting to spend time with his new bride. Other guests who stayed on the island after the ceremony reported that they could hear Eddie and Tracy yelling at each other fighting, which ended with Tracy in tears. Just 2 weeks after the wedding, they decided that marriage just wasn't for them and they called it quits. At number 6, Sinead O'Connor and Barry Harridge. If you tallied a list of celebrities who've had the shortest marriages, singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor is definitely up there. Her 2011 marriage to Barry Harridge was very short-lived, having only lasted 18 days. Officially. News broke of their split from her new husband just a few weeks after having tied the knot, when she issued a personal statement addressing her decision to end their marriage. In her statement, she revealed that though she wanted to keep her relationship troubles a secret, she was being forced to open up over fears of being exposed, and so she revealed that because of family turmoil over their recent wedding, she and Barry would be separating. Sinead revealed that her marriage was already being sabotaged by those close to Barry just 3 hours after the ceremony, and that she was making the decision to separate for Barry's own good, saying, quote, "It became apparent to me that if he were to stay with me, he would be losing too much to bear," end quote. For a marriage to tank so quickly and to have to say goodbye to your partner like that must be very hard, and it's probably something that they wish they didn't have to go through. At number 5, Wiz Khalifa and Amber Rose. Sometimes when people look back on their failed relationships with regret, it's because they have bad blood and wish they never welcomed this person into their lives. But for others, their regrets are circumstantial. This is sort of how Amber Rose felt after her divorce from rapper Wiz Khalifa. The two were married in 2013, but after 14 months of marriage, they divorced, and it was a nasty breakup. There were allegations of cheating, and the custody of their son was also up for debate. Years later, Amber Rose opened up about her brief marriage to Wiz Khalifa and spoke out about her regrets concerning their relationship. In an interview, she said how she regretted getting married when she did because they didn't give themselves enough time to grow in their relationship. Amber also said that she felt as though they would have had a more successful marriage if they got married later in life, calling their wedding a mistake at the time. Luckily, following their explosive divorce, things settled for them and they became good friends, and that just seems to be enough for them. At number 4, Jennifer Lopez and Ojani Noah. Singer Jennifer Lopez is no stranger to walking down the aisle. She's been married 3 times already, but the one relationship she regrets the most is her first marriage to Ojani Noah. Their relationship lasted less than a year, but their tumultuous relationship after their divorce has lasted much longer. It seems as though their relationship was destined to fail, as Ojani documented a lot of JLo's life behind the scenes, later saving it for his own tea spill. Noah tried leaking videos of the couple's honeymoon after their divorce, showing the singer in an intimate setting, and in years since, he has been very outspoken about the singer, her career, and even had plans to release a tell-all book about his ex, followed by a movie deal. Talk about petty. J-Lo actually ended up suing Ojani in 2009 for $10 million, citing that the videos he released as well as the book and movie deals violated an agreement that they had made, which prohibited him from exposing the singer's life. Jennifer now looks back on this relationship with regret and doesn't even count her relationship to Ojani as valid because of how short it was. At number 3, Kaylee Cuoco and Ryan Sweeting. Sometimes when you hear about someone talking about divorce, saying that their partner became a stranger after the wedding, it can be hard to hear. I couldn't imagine how bad I would feel to wake up next to someone who's changed like that. This unfortunately was the case with Big Bang Theory actress Kaylee Cuoco after her first marriage to her ex-husband Ryan Sweeting. The two got married in 2013, but after 21 months together, Kaylee filed for divorce. After their split, Kaylee opened up about her relationship with the former tennis player, saying that her experience with him ruined marriage for her and saying, quote, "I honestly thought I wouldn't get married again. My ex ruined that word for me. I married someone the first time who completely changed," end quote. She also went on to say that early on in her marriage, she felt as though something was wrong and that things were feeling off. Luckily, she's moved on and has since remarried, but her relationship with Sweeting is probably something that Kaylee regrets. At number 2, Lena Waithe and Alana Mayo. Screenwriter Lena Waithe and ex-wife Alana Mayo surprised fans when they announced that they had gotten married in a private and secret ceremony that was a spur-of-the-moment decision, but just 2 months later, they announced their separation. In a joint statement to their supporters, the couple announced that they would be splitting up, and so as fans do, they speculated as to why they ended their relationship so quickly. Rumors that Lena had been unfaithful started swirling, and some sources even said that their relationship had been rocky even before they got married. According to some, Lena and Alana's wedding came after multiple cases of cheating, and that even after their wedding, Lena was still buying expensive gifts for other women. Allegedly, this was all too much for Alana to handle, and so they called it quits. There must be some regret regarding this marriage because they allegedly weren't ready to settle down because of the instability of their relationship. And finally, at number 1, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Of all the biggest Hollywood couples, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were no doubt one of the most famous. The couple, who had been together for over a decade and who adopted many children together, seemed to be a picture-perfect and beloved family unit, and so when they announced that they had gotten married in 2014, fans were thrilled. So many fans had been waiting for this moment, and so when it finally came, it was big news. Bigger news, however, came 2 years later in 2016 when Angie filed for divorce. There were apparently a lot of reasons for their divorce. Their relationship dynamic had allegedly been thrown off after tying the knot because of the pressure to be completely faithful to one another since they had been in an open relationship prior, and the biggest reason for their split came after Brad had an altercation with their oldest son Maddox, which prompted Angie to reevaluate their relationship. This relationship lasted a long time before getting married, so maybe if that didn't happen, things would have been different. At number 10, Charlie Sheen and Donna Peel. We don't really hear much from Charlie Sheen these days. In fact, he's not really in the spotlight anymore, so I can't really say I know much about him. While doing a little research, I discovered that not only is his real name Carlos, but he's also been married 3 times. His shortest marriage being to a woman named Donna Peel. Donna is a model/actress who since leaving Charlie has pretty much disappeared from the limelight. Charlie met Donna in New York doing a photo shoot for a cigarette ad campaign in July of 1995. They had an instant attraction and they started dating immediately. 6 weeks later, they were wed on September 3rd, 1995 during an extravagant beachfront ceremony. Charlie seemed to have been head over heels for Donna, as he once said in an interview, quote, "She's an angel sent from heaven to take me through the rest of my journey." Eventually, this perfect relationship started to crumble and things just ended as fast as they began. 6 months after getting married, their marriage was over. Charlie ended up filing for divorce from Donna, saying that this marriage was suffocating him and that he, quote, "had to come up for air." Charlie also compared his marriage to Donna to a car, saying that if it breaks down, it's wise to let it go. From what I've read, there doesn't really seem to be much animosity between them, and it was seemingly a mutual decision to break up, but they probably regretted getting too serious too fast. At number 9, Shannon Doherty and Ashley Hamilton. Beverly Hills 90210 star Shannon Doherty was head over heels in love in 1993. Upon meeting actor Ashley Hamilton, their spark quickly turned into a big old flame and things escalated quickly. Just 2 weeks after meeting, they decided, hey, this is a perfect time to get married, and so they did. They were married on September 24th, 1993 in a super quick DIY ceremony held in Shannon's backyard. Things were put together so quickly that Shannon didn't even have a dress to wear, so she wore a white silk bathrobe and bare feet to walk down the aisle. They didn't even invite most of their closest friends and family to the wedding. Their marriage lasted a little over a year, which is actually much longer than I thought it would, judging by how fast it got together, but they eventually hit rock bottom and called it quits after Shannon filed for divorce in 1994. Shannon cited cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for their divorce. It is said that the reason why their marriage ended was because Ashley claimed Shannon threatened him with a pistol, but we don't really know for sure. Now before I carry on with the list, I'd like to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, because it really helps the channel out, and also head on over to my gaming channel Viper Girl for some extra fun while you're at it. At number 8, Rudolph Valentino and Jean Acker. Now even though this relationship was from a long time ago, that doesn't mean it doesn't count. This was some high-profile stuff during the early days of Hollywood, so just go with it. Silent film actor Rudolph Valentino and actress Jean Acker had one of Hollywood's shortest marriages, having lasted only 6 hours. Rudolph, known in the film world as the Latin lover, impulsively married Jean in 1919. Though Jean wasn't really into the whole idea, she agreed to marry him in 1919 in order to save her from a scandal. Before Rudolph, Jean was in a lesbian love triangle, but since that was frowned upon at the time, Jean went ahead with the marriage just to save her reputation and career. Just shortly after the ceremony, however, she began to regret her decision to marry and locked her new husband out of their honeymoon suite. After trying to get into their room for about 20 minutes, Rudolph just gave up and headed home that night. They eventually got a divorce and decided that they never consummated the marriage. At number 7, Ethel Merman and Ernest Borgnine. You know, sometimes marriage just isn't for everyone. That's perfectly okay after all. I mean, you do what you want. But I mean, for some couples, they're just not meant to be. Take Ethel Merman and Ernest Borgnine for example. These two Hollywood stars hit it off, and even though they both had 2 failed marriages under their belts by the time they got together, that didn't stop them from trying. The couple got married in June 1964 during a star-studded ceremony. Those in attendance included stars like Dick Van Dyke and Angie Dickinson. Though their wedding was a big to-do, their marriage certainly was not, as it only lasted about a month before calling it quits. After their wedding, they went on a long honeymoon, and this is where things started to unravel, because while they were in public, Ernest was gaining more recognition than Ethel, and she just didn't like that. This fueled jealousy and made for a toxic match, so by the time they returned from their honeymoon, they were already over this whole marriage thing and decided to call it quits. At number 6, Audrina Patridge and Corey Bowen. The Hills star Audrina Patridge and BMX athlete Corey Bowen had a toxic and tumultuous relationship that really was just negative all around. After about 7 years of dating, the couple got engaged in November of 2015 and were soon married by the following year after welcoming their daughter Kira into the world. By 2018, they were done and the legal battle began. Audrina alleged that Corey was violent towards her. Leading up to their official divorce, Audrina had been granted a restraining order, preventing Corey from being within 100 feet of his wife and daughter. Audrina claimed that Corey was very aggressive towards her on multiple occasions, and she just couldn't take it anymore. Luckily, she was able to get out of that abusive relationship and probably regrets getting into it in the first place. At number 5, Halle Berry and Olivier Martinez. Halle Berry has been in a few high-profile relationships, but her most recent relationship with actor Olivier Martinez was her shortest. Having been together for only 2 years, they didn't get to carry out much of the things that they wanted to do together, like moving abroad. Halle and Olivier met on set while working on the film Dark Tide in 2010 and Tied the Knot in 2013. Also welcoming in their son Maceo. Though things were good for a while, Halle's past relationship with Gabriel Aubry started to put a strain on her marriage because she was forced to stay in the LA area while she got through her legal battle with him. Because of this, it put a halt on her plans to move to Europe with Olivier. Eventually, the two grew apart, having to be away from each other for work and other commitments. If Halle didn't have to deal with her other troubles with her ex, then maybe things would have been different, so maybe she regrets that relationship more than her marriage to Olivier. At number 4, Colton Haynes and Jeff Letham. Arrow actor Colton Haynes and celebrity designer Jeff Letham had a very short-lived marriage that only lasted about 6 months. These two were set up in the most Hallmark movie way possible, having a meet cute in an airport and passing notes on an airplane, and even their engagement was perfect, featuring Cher, and their wedding was fabulous too because the one and only Kris Jenner officiated it. Things were picture perfect, but eventually that photo began to fade pretty quickly. 6 months after their star-studded wedding, Colton filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences, and shortly after, Jeff also filed, citing the same thing. Their divorce was pretty scandal-free for the most part, but it also was a bit mysterious. Both parties agreed to sign a non-disclosure agreement saying that neither one of them would share any information about the other person with anyone else. Seems a little extreme, but maybe there's a reason behind it. There was a rumor that Jeff had actually cheated on Colton, though that was never confirmed. It seems as though maybe there were some regrets about jumping into this whole marriage thing too soon, or even at all. At number 3, Janet Jackson and James DeBarge. The singer-songwriter and sister of the late Michael Jackson, experienced her first shot at married life when she was only 18 years old. Janet married James DeBarge in 1984, but their marriage only lasted about a year. Before getting married though, they were good friends. It seems as though they had been in love for a while and just took the first opportunity that they got to get married. Though Janet's father Joe did not approve of their marriage, they went through with it anyway and were together for 15 months. After they split up, there had been a rumor swirling around that Janet and James had a child, but they gave it up for adoption in order to save their careers and public image after James brought this up in 2016. It was never proven, but still remains a wild theory. Janet eventually ended up getting the marriage annulled because of James' substance abuse as it began to take a toll on their relationship. Janet regrets having gotten married so young, but hey, you live and you learn. At number 2, Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio. Being one of Hollywood's biggest stars can be all fun and games, but it also puts a lot of pressure on some people's relationships. I mean, imagine being married to the industry's most popular star. When Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio married, it was a pretty big deal. The actress and the athlete looked like a beautiful match who was deeply in love, having met and married within a short amount of time. Some people believe that their marriage was rushed because it all took place within time that they got between work engagements. They got married in a quiet city hall ceremony in January 1954 and turned a work trip to Japan into their honeymoon, but just 9 months later the spark had faded and their relationship crumbled. Joe allegedly wanted a stay-at-home wife, but because Marilyn was at the height of her career, she wouldn't agree to that and wanted to keep working. Joe also apparently had a hard time coming to terms with his wife's image, and apparently her famous subway grate scene was the last straw. Their marriage ended with Marilyn citing mental cruelty as one of the reasons behind their divorce. She didn't like how he didn't want to support her, and that's just not what she needed in her life then. However, he did stay by her side until her sudden death in 1962. And finally at number 1, Scarlett Johansson and Ryan Reynolds. Scarlett and Ryan's relationship is one of those that I forget ever happened. Though they were married for 3 years, apparently neither one of them was really into the whole marriage thing, and so they divorced. Simple as that. They got married in 2008 and the whole thing was pretty low-key. They didn't provide any details about their BC wedding to the press, and there are no pictures about it, so really all we know is that it happened. They didn't really share many details about married life either, at least until 2012 when they announced that they were splitting. As for why, well, Scarlett says that she was just too young to have known what she wanted, and some sources say that they fought a lot. They've since moved on with different people and are living their best lives separately. But maybe one day we will see them reunite on the big screen. At number 10, John Finlay. 2020 saw the success of the Tiger King documentary on Netflix, and in its aftermath, it saw some people like Joe Exotic become something of a celebrity. He and the others involved in his life became public figures, and there are still a number of people who are still interested in their lives and in getting some tea on Mr. Exotic, who is currently behind bars. Joe's ex-husband John Finlay recently came forward to talk about his life after the documentary brought him some minor popularity, and he exposed his former relationship with the now imprisoned Big Cat owner and exposed his marriage. John cannot express enough how regretful his marriage to Joe Exotic was. John said that this whole marriage was fake and that it was just for Joe's popularity, remarking that the wedding that was shown in the documentary, which showed him, Joe, and Travis Maldonado, was all, quote, basically a publicity stunt so Joe could get his own reality TV series. John spoke out saying that he still carries the pain from his time with Joe and is trying to forget his past by moving on with his new wife and by making steps towards having his tattoos of Joe removed from his body. John is in a better place now after leaving his life with Joe behind and is crediting much of his growth to his bond with his wife, but he says that he still has a long way to go to erasing the past. At number 9, Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey has been in her fair share of high-profile relationships, and throughout the years, she's had some regretful ones as well. In September 2020, the singer revealed in her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, that she once had an affair which stemmed from her unhappy marriage to her first husband. In the book, Mariah wrote about how during her marriage to music exec Tommy Mottola, she cheated on him with baseball star Derek Jeter. Mariah wrote about how she was feeling during this time with Tommy, talking about how she felt trapped in her marriage because of the age difference between her and her husband, and because she felt as though Tommy was very controlling. This lack of love in the relationship prompted her to seek out a temporary escape, and after meeting Derek at a dinner party in 1997, she bonded with him. Mariah wrote that she kissed Derek one night, and that after that moment, they never went any further until Mariah ended her marriage, which she promptly did after that. She regretted getting into a toxic relationship with her first husband, but she found a temporary escape from the situation in the end. Now, before I carry on with the list, I would like to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and also check out my channel Viper Girl if you're looking to kick back and watch some gaming content hosted by me. At number 8, Anna Faris. Though Anna Faris and Chris Pratt split around 4 years ago, there hasn't been much talk about what went wrong in their relationship until just recently. During an episode of Anna Faris's podcast, she sat down with actress Gwyneth Paltrow, and the two of them had a conversation about marriage. Both Anna and Gwyneth had gone through divorces and finding love after such an event, and so they opened up about those experiences. Anna asked Gwyneth if her, quote, taste in partners has changed throughout the decades of her life, to which she replied that her new partner is different in the sense that he helps her be more honest with herself. Anna then replied saying that she never felt as though she had that sense of honesty in her previous marriage to Chris Pratt, later going on to essentially expose Chris for the way things were in their marriage and how this lack of emotional honesty caused, quote, competitiveness and comparison in the relationship. Now, it's really hard to say if she really regrets her entire relationship with Chris as a whole, but she does regret not having certain positive aspects in her relationship, seeing that it is a vital part of a successful marriage. At number 7, Madonna and Guy Ritchie. Here's a relationship that was just messy and toxic in every sense. Madonna and Guy Ritchie divorced over 10 years ago, but just because their marriage ended so long ago, that doesn't necessarily mean that their hatred towards each other will have ended. The two were married for almost a decade, but their distaste for one another has lasted much longer, and because of this negativity, they no doubt regret ever getting married in the first place. It seems like their marriage turned sour because Madonna was working so hard on her career, and so things became strained between them and the hostility began to grow. Coming out of the divorce, the worst of it started to get out. Guy made a lot of harsh comments about his marriage to Madonna, comparing his relationship with the singer to a soap opera, and also said that she was more concerned with her public image than she was with their marriage. Madonna has fired back at her ex in the past, saying that she felt like she was incarcerated during their marriage and that Guy was nothing but a gold digger. There was just a lot of drama there, which really shows that they weren't a good match at all. At number 6, Wendy Williams. In 2019, talk show host Wendy Williams exposed her husband's serious affair with his massage therapist. Her 20-year marriage to her husband, Kevin Hunter, was dissolved after he was accused of not only cheating on Wendy, but also fathering another woman's child. When news broke of Kevin's affair, it was also revealed that his mistress had given birth to their child, and upon discovering this information, Wendy said enough is enough. When speaking out about the whole dramatic affair, Wendy said, quote, look, my husband had a full baby with a woman he was involved with for 15 years. Infidelity is one thing, a full baby is a whole nother topic. A baby. I'm not changing Pampers. I want to be pampered. I learned from my mother how to make lemons into lemonade. What am I supposed to do? Stay in the house and cry all day? End quote. She definitely regrets her marriage to Kevin just because of how serious this affair was. To not only cheat on your partner, but also have a child with someone else while being unfaithful is certainly something that would make you wish that you never even met this person. At number 5, Kim Kardashian. By now, we all know that Kim Kardashian and Kanye West are divorcing. Since the beginning of this year, there have been rumors circulating mainly about cheating, and no one really knows what's true and what isn't. In January, people were speculating that Kanye had an affair with YouTuber and makeup mogul Jeffree Star, and later there came speculation that Kanye tried to cheat on Kim with reality TV star Claudia Jordan. Between the cheating allegations and rumors and all of that other drama that's gone on with Kanye lately, including his presidential campaign last year and his numerous Twitter rampages, I think Kim might have some regrets about ever getting involved with Kanye because of all the drama that he's caused her. I'm sure that she doesn't completely regret her relationship with him since he did father her kids, who are her whole world, but I'm sure she would have loved to do without all of the constant Kanye drama that she's had to deal with over the past few years. At number 4, Jana Kramer. Jana Kramer made the decision to try and make things work after the huge 2016 cheating scandal where her husband's infidelity and sex addiction were brought to light, but now she's definitely regretting that decision. After years of trying to grow from their troubled marriage, football player Mike Costin and his wife, singer and actress Jana Kramer, called it quits on their relationship. Jana took to her social media in late April to announce their split, saying, quote, it's time. As I try to make sense of a reality that I never wanted to believe could be possible again, those words have become a reality. I've fought, y'all. I've loved hard. I've forgiven. I've put the work in. I've given everything I have, and now I have nothing else to give. end quote. Jana also cited, quote, inappropriate marital conduct, irreconcilable differences, and adultery as reasons for their divorce. Though the pair briefly split up in 2016 following that cheating scandal, and though they did reconcile shortly after that scandal, it seems as though too much damage was done, and judging by the tone in her divorce statement, it seems like she regrets sticking around as long as she did. At number 3, Alexis DeJoria and Sandra Bullock. Once a cheater, always a cheater, right? Well, that's how drag racer Alexis DeJoria and Sandra Bullock feel about their ex-husband Jesse James. Jesse has earned the label of a serial cheater after it was discovered that there was some serious infidelity plaguing not only his past relationship with Sandra, but also his most recent marriage to Alexis. Both Sandra and Alexis have been caught in a cheating scandal with Jesse, and this most recent scandal revealed that Jesse had cheated on Alexis with at least 20 different women. According to some sources, it was revealed that Jesse would sneak women into his family home, as well as fly women out to Austin to hook up with them in hotel rooms. It was also reported that Alexis tried to work things out with Jesse, but he wasn't interested in making things work. After all of this drama and broken trust, both Alexis and Sandra regret ever being married to Jesse because of how much disregard he seemed to have had for their respective relationships. At number 2, Mary-Kate Olsen. After multiple attempts, Mary-Kate Olsen successfully filed for divorce from her husband, Olivier Sarkozy. Mary-Kate had tried multiple times to file for divorce from her husband through the New York City courts last year, but because of the pandemic and stay-at-home orders in New York, she was denied twice before finally having her paperwork accepted in late May. The two had been married since 2015 and apparently had a number of rough patches, most notably on their stance of starting a family. Olivier, who already had children with his ex-wife, didn't want anymore, though Mary-Kate did. And on top of that, apparently the tipping point in their relationship was when Olivier's ex-wife moved into the couple's home. Mary-Kate seemed to have had enough with their disagreements, especially those that involved his ex-wife, and so she decided to leave her husband. Following her desire to leave, her husband apparently kicked Mary-Kate out of their home, and she was close to losing all of her personal belongings. This was all very toxic, so I'm sure she regretted her marriage to him in that moment. And finally, at number 1, Melinda Gates. Bill and Melinda Gates have been in and out of the news regarding their divorce, ending their marriage of nearly 30 years. Now that they're separating, more and more news is coming out about Bill, which shows that Melinda wasn't always happy and probably regretted her marriage to him at times. The moment where she really wanted to leave, though, was when her husband began a friendship and close bond with Jeffrey Epstein. Information has come out suggesting that Melinda had made the decision to begin the divorcing process in 2019 after a report by the New York Times had linked Bill and Jeffrey. Melinda previously warned Bill about the billionaire when they first met back in 2013. However, despite her forewarnings, Bill allegedly continued to meet with Epstein, later leading to him getting exposed for their relationship when Epstein was arrested in 2019. Melinda seemingly wanted out of her marriage as soon as she realized that Bill was in too deep with Epstein. Now that all of this has come out, you can really start to see what Melinda was dealing with for all those years, and that she had been dealing with an unhappy marriage for quite a while.
Number 10, Katy Perry and Russell Brand. Russell Brand has taken over the news recently after he was added to the list of comedians who fell very hard from grace. After several women came forward alleging mistreatment, Russell's career was destroyed, and rightfully so. Now, for a brief period in time, he was married to one of the most popular artists ever, Katy Perry, for 14 months to be exact. Their relationship was rocky from start to finish. Now, while on the outside things seemed fine, Katy has revealed that she was well aware of Russell's behavior. In fact, the first time they ever met, Russell attempted to force himself onto her, but she took it as playful and pushed him off. She never got Russell to sign a prenup or anything involving a share in finances. However, when they did get divorced, there was a mutual agreement that they would share their assets earned together 50-50, even signing the paper with a little smiley face. If she had delivered that information sooner, Russell would have been left penniless and in prison before he could have written a book. Number 9, Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Joe and Sophie are currently going through an extremely public divorce, with the latest information being that Sophie is suing Joe for the return of their children to England. A court filing set in place on Thursday called for Joe Jonas to act, demanding the immediate return of the children who were wrongfully retained. According to Sophie's team, the wrongful retention began on September the 20th. The couple had apparently agreed to make England their forever home. The couple sold their home in Miami Miami, and they were in the process of purchasing property in the English countryside. Joe had been in charge of the little ones since he started touring, while Sophie claims that he had more time available to be with them during the day because she was busy filming a little mini-series. According to Sophie, she didn't even know that Joe wanted a divorce until she read articles about it online. When the conversation was brought back up about who will live where, Joe changed his mind apparently, and he has been keeping their passports to himself, and so far his money is also staying right where it is. Despite the announcement of this divorce taking place in the beginning of August, it feels like there is something new happening every other day with these people. Number 8, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. On top of the domestic accusations placed against Johnny, there was also a pretty lengthy divorce battle with his ex Amber Heard that spanned over a year. The couple were only ever married for a fairly short time, literally just over a year to be exact. Now, despite them both being pretty successful when they tied the knot, no paperwork was ever signed, and their divorce was just a doomsday clock slowly counting down to May in 2016. After over a year of legal garb, Johnny was forced to pay Amber over $7 million, but the joke's on her as she used that money to bring a team of lawyers with her to court after an op-ed surrounding domestic allegations against Johnny was contested. And at the end of that ordeal, Johnny got his $7 million back and then some. Number 7, Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore. Ashton, of course, dated and was married to Demi Moore for a long time, but their marriage quickly came to an end when Demi discovered Ashton was seeing another woman behind her back. That old tidbit. Too bad for Ashton, she really should have signed a prenup. Their divorce proceedings went on for years, and while the former couple attempted to agree on some kind of a settlement, it just took some time. Unfortunately for Ashton, Demi is good at getting what she wants. After a ton of legal work and digging up dirt, Ashton ended up being a little bit more generous than he had to be. Apparently, Demi received a significant amount of money and property from That 70s Show star. As I kinda hinted at, most of that goal to win came from the fact that Ashton began publicly dating his now wife, Mila Kunis, and it was only a couple of weeks after they had already filed for a divorce. There's always been speculation that Mila and Ashton were together before the papers were ever filed, but nothing's ever been proven. If you ask me though, Demi's fury is proof plenty. Number 6, Mel B and Jimmy Gulzer. Mel may be known best as Scary Spice from her time with the legendary pop crew the Spice Girls, but it was Mel that was put into a bit of a scary situation when she divorced her husband and backup dancer Jimmy Gulzer. Despite being married for only 16 months, Mel was ordered by the court to pay Jimmy a settlement worth about $1.6 million, including cash payments and a property that was worth almost $1 million by itself. By the time Mel B divorced her second husband, Stephen Belafonte, she was forced to offer hubby number 2 a settlement of $6.5 million. She did not learn from the first one. Over the course of 2 relationships, Mel was forced to pay roughly $7.6 million in assets and cash. If Mel had put a prenup in place during either of these marriages, she may have saved herself a few million. Or 4, but instead she was forced to pay way too much to men who clearly knew what they were doing, squeezing Mel for every bit of cash she had. Number 5, Adele and Simon Konecki. Adele is known around the world for her incredible voice and equally powerful stage presence. In 2021, she filed for a divorce from her husband, Sam Konecki, who was also the CEO of Adele's Drop for Drop charity. After over a year of back and forth negotiations, Sam ended up walking away with an astounding amount, $171 million. Paid outright. He would not receive spousal support, he would not receive any kind of anything, he just got $171 deposited into his account. Adele was essentially paying this man off to leave her alone for the rest of her life. Now, on top of the financial payoff, the couple decided to share joint custody of their son, Angelo. While not happy with each other, they have gone on record saying that Angelo is first and foremost in their lives. Being a parent is the most important thing that they could be doing right now. If she had made Sam sign a prenup beforehand, there is no way that he would have walked away with that much money. But then again, she's Adele. For all we know, $171 million is closer to like $200 for her. Number 4, Britney Spears and Kevin Federline. Britney may have recently split with her short-lived boo Sam Asghari, but it was her even more controversial backup dancer boy toy Kevin Federline that walked away with a lot of cash and a little bit of fame. During the early days of her career, Britney made her fortune on the back of her squeaky clean image, but that image was very quickly destroyed after a long night of partying, left her with a wedding ring, foggy memories, and Kevin. They had one of those little Vegas weddings, but eventually they made their way down the aisle for real. The couple were together for 3 years and had 2 kids together, but even having one big happy family was just not enough to keep these two happy. When Brittany and Kevin split, they had not agreed on any kind of a money situation beforehand, so Kevin was ultimately granted $40,000 a month. A month! That's more than most people make in 3 months, let alone 1. Kevin was basically given a free pass to just chill and be a dad, while Brittany, well, we all know what happened to Britney Spears. Number 3, Paul McCartney and Heather Mills. As one of the most important men in music history for, creating the Beatles, Paul McCartney had a lot to lose in the event that his second marriage to the much younger Heather Mills ever went south. Now, despite knowing what could happen if he did not get her to sign a prenup, he went ahead with the marriage easy peasy. Well, not so easy peasy, because after 6 years together, they finally split up and doomsday was arriving. He made the decision amid a slew of accusations that she was addicted to no substances and her apparent dislike for Sir Paul's children that he had from his last marriage. Now, because there was no prenup in place and he was, Paul McCartney, Heather walked away with a modest $40-ish million plus 70 grand per year set aside for their daughter Beatrice until she turned 18. We can't really blame Paul. I guess he just assumed that his second marriage would be his last, but buddy, third time's the charm. Second time is never good. Number 2, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey. When Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey tied the knot in 2002, getting a divorce was the last thing on their minds. The young lovers fell hard in the early 20s. Of course, paperwork and logistics were not on their minds. They were too busy being happy and rich. Even though Nick did eventually touch on the subject with Jessica briefly, she turned him down and did not want to talk about it again. Prenups were insulting to her. The couple were divorced only a few years after getting together, and looking back, Simpson herself said that she should have signed something. According to her, she was actually offended when initially asked to sign the paperwork, telling Nick that they were going to be together forever though. Of course, forever didn't last, but thankfully neither Nick nor Jessica were very vengeful when it came time to split. Minimal money was shared, and if anything, they probably gave each other their stuff back rather than any cash. Number 1. Mel and Robin Gibson. Mel is one of the more controversial celebrities around. He's played several characters over the years, from religious people to Mark Wahlberg's dad. This guy's been a busy bee. Now, when it comes to his love life though, it's been a rocky road to say the least. Mel did not have much luck in the love department. After being with his wife Robin for 30 years, the couple decided to call it quits. Having decided very early on how things would go should a divorce take place, Mel was forced to pay Robin $425 million, which was apparently only half of his total net worth. Half. On top of paying her the money on the spot, she was also entitled to a percentage of his earnings from any future projects. Not only did Robin get a ton of money from the Braveheart star, but his then girlfriend Oksana Grigorieva also received over $700,000 when Mel abruptly abandoned her too. Next time, you gotta negotiate, man.
Coming in at number 10, we have Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth. These two were on the rise in the first few months of 2010. These two met while working on the set of the romantic drama The Last Song and decided to give it a shot. For real. Appearing all cuddly and cozy on the red carpet, while they were together for over 2 years, it was severely on-again and off-again relationship, which culminated into them getting engaged in 2012. Yes, getting engaged to the person you keep breaking up with is always a healthy way to start any marriage. They decided to call it quits in 2013, and since then, the two have had vastly different careers. In 2014, the song Wrecking Ball was at the top of the charts alongside with the music video, which Miley swings on the wrecking ball in her birthday suit while licking seemingly everything in sight. Liam seems like he was on the track to have a steady career after starring in the Hunger Games franchise, but he suddenly stopped acting in all mainstream media following 2016's Independence Day resurgence. These two definitely wish they had never met each other. Maybe The Last Song would never have been made and Liam could have been Thor instead of his brother. Coming in at number 9, we have Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber. Justin actually first met Selena Selena after his agent arranged a date for them. And apparently, Selena was Justin's celebrity crush, and the feelings were possibly mutual. After Selena referred to Justin as her little brother for over a year, they were spotted together on the red carpet at Vanity Fair Oscars party in 2011. They were together for a hot minute before Justin jumped ship and started seeing his current wife, Hailey Baldwin. Now their relationship was also rocky at first, with everyone being on again and off again over and over and over roughly until 2016, when Justin officially dropped Selena from his life and committed to his new boo. Since then, Selena has found a few other boy toys in her life, but so far has been unsuccessful finding a new man. Justin, however, is happily married and in a better place mentally than he has ever been. Getting rid of each other seems to have been the best thing they could have done for themselves, and it has paid off. Coming in at number 8, we have Taylor Swift and Matt Healy. Taylor Swift broke up with someone? When does the album come out? Taylor Swift and 1979 frontman Matt Healy were taking the media world by storm when they were spotted holding hands and attending each other's concerts earlier this year. Taylor ended her 6-year relationship with Joe Alwyn. She quickly bounced back with the singer who has stirred up a lot of controversy for spouting racial slurs, political rants, and just trashy trash. Following the rumors of their romance, Maddie started playing She's American at his concerts, referencing Taylor throughout the gigs. They were confirmed to be in a relationship sometime in May, but less than a month later, they had split for good. Apparently, Taylor finally came to her senses and dropped the menace from her life. Hopefully nothing but good things will come from this split, and by good things, I mean a new song I can scream to in the car. Coming in at number 7, we have Amber Heard and Johnny Depp. What has been said about these two would shock you these days. Amber and Johnny first got together in 2009 after meeting on set of the No Juice Diaries. It's not actually called that, but we can't say that on the internet. It's a word that rhymes with gum. Around 6 years later, they were married and lived happily ever after. I am just kidding. They ended up getting divorced oh so quick. Literally a year after getting married, Amber Heard filed for divorce, claiming that Johnny had been physical with her while under the influence. This resulted in Johnny opening a lawsuit against Amber after an opted piece was released in the Washington Post. While she did not name Depp, she heavily implied it was during her time with him that the alleged situation took place. Eventually, they went through a very nasty and public trial, free to watch online might I add, and the judge ruled in favor of Mr. Depp. He was awarded $15 million while Amber received $2 million in a liable countersuit. I don't know. A lot of big words that mean rich people are richer now, and Amber and Johnny wish they had said to the No Juice Diaries and the No Juices. Coming in at number 6, we have Gigi Hadid and Zayn Malik. These two first started seeing each other in 2015 and have had one of the most public on-again, off-again relationships in history. Zayn found Gigi attractive, he asked her out, she said yes, nice and wholesome. What is less wholesome is the fact that these two couldn't commit to each other for more than a few days. No, I am exaggerating, but that's basically what it felt like. The first split came around 7 months after they got together. Okay, lots of time. They were only broken up for 5 days before getting back together, a pattern which would continue until 2021. These two have made up, broken up, chucked and bucked. I mean, come on guys. You knew how bad this was for your mental health, right? Despite the pair having a child together, thanks to their 15th reunion or so, however many times they've split, but that child is the only good thing that ever came from that relationship. In at number 5, we have Anna Faris and Chris Pratt. Anna and Chris met in 2007 on the set of Take Me Home Tonight. Only 1 year after they began seeing each other, they were engaged and became one of Hollywood's most favorite comedy couples. They went through some hard times together, having to deal with their son Jack being born 9 weeks too early. While they bounced back from that and began raising their son, they filed for divorce in 2017 after 8 years. While neither have actually confirmed what caused the split, it seems like it boiled down to a case of Pratt being too busy and not having enough time for their family. At the time, he was heavily involved in the MCU and starred in the second Guardians of the Galaxy movie. So it's not that far-fetched to think that Anna may have been neglected by her hubby. Since the split, they have had successful love lives and co-parent Jack very well together. But they're happy to be out of their old relationship and are happy for one another. Look at at that, people being nice to each other after a breakup. Weird, isn't it? In at number 4, we have Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes. While many people in power have been trying to tell women what to do with their bodies forever, Cruise was forced to address rumors that he made his third wife, Katie, give birth in secret and in complete silence. A practice Scientologists believe may prevent any permanent psychic scars caused by negative vibes at birth. Cause yes, starting life in a deep dark dungeon sounds super healthy. Cruise confirmed that this was true, but made the argument that the process was not as strict as many people believed it to be. He even had a special pacifier made for Katie to keep her as quiet as possible during the birth. According to Katie, Tom was also very mentally manipulative during their time together, apparently micromanaging every single thing she did, down to the clothes she was allowed to wear. Thankfully, Katie came to her senses and filed for divorce from Tom around 2013. Since then, Tom has been a single Pringle because his reputation is rough, and Katie has been happy and free of such a lil angry man. Coming in at number 3, we have Courtney Cox and David Arquette. Ever since starring together in the cult classic horror franchise Scream, these two have been entangled in each other's lives in both good and bad ways. By the third Scream movie, they had gotten engaged, and by the year 2000, they were happily married. Now, of all the relationships on this list, this one is actually one of the more tame breakups. Arquette was a bit wild in his early days of stardom, to the point where he had initially made Courtney uncomfortable, but as time grew on with her, they were happily married for 10 years before things started to grow stale, even having to attend couples therapy. Since 2011, they have stayed apart as a couple, but have been able to co-parent their daughter Coco and maintain a healthy friend-like relationship. The breakup caused Arquette to take stock of his life, and he checked into a rehab facility. So far, the only time they've worked together again was on set of the 5th Scream movie, but thanks to one of them kind of being deceased now, it will more than likely be the last time we see them together again. Coming in at number 2, we have Taylor Swift and Harry Styles. Oh look! It's Taylor Swift again! In 2012, Taylor and Harry formed one of pop's most iconic power couples, being dubbed Haylor by fans. Their relationship didn't last long, however, because previously mentioned on this list, Taylor Swift has had the strange ability to create a catchy tune from some of her darkest times. Following a trip to the Caribbean, of all places, the couple decided to call it quits in early January of 2013. Harry Styles definitely wished he had never met Taylor in the first place. Following their split, Taylor started working on her new album, titled 1998, the same year she was born. Cementing her move from the world of country to pop, so many quality songs came from that album that surely made Taylor millions, at the expense of her ex, Harry. Mr. Styles was still a member of the boy band One Direction at the time, when he returned to a full-time gig as a pop star following the split. Things were slowly taking a turn in a different direction. The album made the other bandmates feel like Harry was being targeted, and it also seemed to take a bit of a mental toll on the performers as well, as he was not so quick to answer questions or share his side of the breakup. Instead, he kept doing his job and made music for the world to enjoy, so much so that when the band eventually split up, he claims Taylor was an inspiration for him to venture off on his own to gain even a sliver of power that Taylor had. And in at number 1, we have Kim and Kanye. Kim and Kanye actually met almost 12 years before becoming official. After Kanye dropped a song called Cole, which he name drops Kardashian, he professed his love to the world. Little did Kim know that the relatively sane rapper was on his way down a dark road. In 2018, the first of what would be a million dominoes began to fall on Mr. West, after he decided to post several racially fueled Twitter rants online. While that began affecting his career in front of the camera, it had apparently taken a toll on him behind the scenes as well. Kim had gone on record claiming that Kanye became much stricter with her children than he normally was towards them at the end of their relationship. By 2020, the couple was constantly fighting, and Kim claims that Kanye became too focused on his career rather than their own children. But 2020 was the year he officially snapped. After he confirmed he was running for president, he revealed intimate details about Kim unprompted. In January of 2021, she officially announced her split from Kanye and simultaneously introduced the world to her new boo, Pete Davidson. The only good thing to come out of him, in Kim's opinion, is her wonderful children.
At number 10, Gary Owen. him. After nearly 20 years of marriage, it was all over in an instant. Kenya Duke, wife of Gary Owens, filed for divorce in March this year, making allegations that her husband had been unfaithful in their marriage. After news broke of their divorce filing, Kenya took to her Instagram to imply that her husband had an affair with a woman from Dallas, someone who was mutual friends with Gary and reality star Claudia Jordan. In her now deleted Instagram post, Kenya sent a message to the woman that she calls Dallas, Texas, saying, quote, "Dallas, Texas, I have your info. I'm going to deal with you in a minute. I'm a little busy now. You can have him, but you can't disrespect me and my kids in the process. At Gary Owen Comedy, let her know that a storm is coming. You should know better. Married, not separated. Married." End quote. Kenya also followed this up with a message that was meant for her husband, where she said, quote, "All the energy you spend lying, acting, creating a fake narrative for these women that want to be me, you could have done it with a veggie burger and a glass of fake filtered water." End quote. To make matters messier, Claudia Jordan, who was allegedly mutual friends with Gary's mistress, took to her social media to clear her name in the scandal, saying that she doesn't have a friend from Dallas, implying that she doesn't know who this other woman is, and that she was not aware of any affair that Gary had been having. At number 9, Amber Heard. 2020 saw the messiness and chaos that was the libel case between Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, and The Sun publication. Through that trial, we learned a lot about Johnny and Amber's relationship behind the scenes, including the cheating that allegedly happened. Along with having been abusive towards Johnny Depp, she also allegedly had affairs with multiple people during their relationship. Some of the names that have been thrown around having had relationships with Amber are Cara Delevingne, Elon Musk, and James Franco. Apparently, Amber, Cara, and Elon once had a group affair in Johnny's downtown LA penthouse, and there's even video footage of Amber meeting with James Franco in 2016 where they went to the same LA penthouse. This all happened behind Johnny's back and in his own house. This trial unearthed so much information about their relationship turmoil, but the cheating was only just the tip of the iceberg. Now, before I go any further, I'd like to ask you guys to consider leaving a like on this video if you are enjoying it so far, and also check out my gaming channel Viper Girl if you're looking to enjoy some more awesome content, and subscribe while you're there. I post new videos daily, so there's always some fun going on over there. At number 8, Kevin Hunter Sr. In 2019, talk show host Wendy Williams exposed her husband for having a huge affair. Her 20-year marriage to husband Kevin Hunter was dissolved after he was accused of not only cheating on Wendy, but also fathering another woman's child. When reports broke of Kevin's affair with his massage therapist, revealing that his mistress had given birth to their child, Wendy said, "Enough is enough." When speaking out about the whole affair, Wendy said, quote, "Look, my husband had a full baby with a woman he was involved with for 15 years. Infidelity is one thing, a whole baby is a whole nother topic. A baby. I'm not changing Pampers, I want to be pampered. I learned from my mother how to make lemons into lemonade. What am I supposed to do? Stay in the house and cry all day?" End quote. Following this explosive divorce, Kevin issued an apology to his wife where he said, quote, "I'm not proud of my recent actions and take full responsibility and apologize to my wife, my family, and her amazing fans. I'm going through a time of self-reflection and I'm trying to right some wrongs." End quote. At number 7, Alex Rodriguez. Though they never got the chance to take that next step in their relationship, Alex Rodriguez and Jennifer Lopez had the intention to tie the knot. That is until things got too messy to handle. In April of this year, the couple announced that they were going their separate ways, ending their 2-year engagement. This breakup announcement came following A-Rod's recent cheating scandal. Though he's been accused of infidelity in the past, this new scandal might have been the one to end it all. In January of this year, Alex was accused of cheating on his fiancée with reality TV star Madison LaCroix, and this came about after LaCroix was accused of having an affair with the former MLB player during a taping of a reality reunion show. Shortly after these allegations were thrown around, Madison admitted to having been in contact with A-Rod, insisting that their communications were innocent, saying that they never met up and never had any physical contact, saying, quote, "He's never physically cheated on his fiancée with me." A source close to Alex revealed that he had slid into Madison's DMs and they had exchanged some, quote, "thirsty photos." For now, this is all speculations, but the internet sleuths out there are pretty convinced that there was indeed an affair going on here. At number 6, Mariah Carey. In September 2020, singer Mariah Carey revealed in her memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, that she had once been unfaithful to her first husband. In the book, Mariah wrote about how during her first marriage to music exec Tommy Mottola, she cheated on him with baseball star Derek Jeter. Mariah talked about how she felt trapped in her marriage because of the age difference and because her husband was controlling. This prompted her to seek out a temporary escape, and after meeting Derek at a dinner party in 1997, she bonded with him. Mariah also revealed that soon she and Derek started talking, leading to them having a quote, warm, slow, intoxicating kiss on Derek's roof. The singer said that after that kiss, they never went any further because she was still married, saying, quote, neither of us had wanted to cheapen our romance by cheating on my marriage, end quote. They waited until Mariah was single again to start up the romance once again. At number 5, Dominic West. In the fall of 2020, actor Dominic West shocked a lot of people, including his wife, when photos surfaced online of him getting a little too close with actress Lily James. The leaked images showed the actor ringless on an outing with his co-star in Rome. He was spotted kissing and caressing the actress, and there were sources claiming that he and Lily had shared a hotel room as well. When reports of this alleged affair came out, a source close to Dominic's wife, Catherine, said that she was, quote, devastated and heartbroken, going on to say that she believed that she and her husband had a good marriage. This scandal, however, took a turn just days after the story first broke, as Dominic and his wife were spotted together kissing in front of paparazzi, and the couple even released a handwritten note to news outlets saying, quote, our marriage is strong and we are very much still together, end quote. When confronted about the whole affair, Lily James said that she was mortified to learn that her co-star was married, saying that while they were together, Dominic was acting very flirtatious around her. Everyone was confused by the situation, but what do you guys think of this cheating scandal? Leave me your thoughts down in the comments. At number 4, Offset. People say that rappers Cardi B and Offset have a toxic relationship because of how many times Offset has cheated. Though they've been married for over 3 years and have a daughter together, that apparently doesn't stop Offset from seeking comfort elsewhere. Last year, Cardi even filed for divorce from Offset because of his infidelity, though they later got back together after he spoiled her for her birthday, buying her a $300,000 car and dedicating a billboard to her. Offset has had a few cheating scandals over the course of his relationship with Cardi. In 2018, about a year after the couple got married in secret, Offset faced rumors that he had cheated on Cardi and even made an adult film with another woman. Back in 2020, he faced more allegations where it was rumored that he even fathered a child during this affair. Though they continue to find their way back to each other, one has to wonder, will this happen again? At number 3, Kanye West. 2021 has been a rough year for Kim and Kanye. The couple announced early this year that they were divorcing, but this was also followed up with some cheating rumors as well. For a little while there, at the beginning of the year, the internet was swarming with rumors that Kanye had cheated on his wife with YouTuber and makeup mogul Jeffree Star. Though those allegations were denied, some others have popped up saying that Kanye was allegedly actively looking to cheat on Kim. Reality TV star Claudia Jordan alleged that the rapper, quote, tried to hook up with her while still in a relationship with Kim. During an appearance on a talk show, Claudia said, quote, he tried years ago. Me and Nicki Chu were in the club. They shut the door. I met him before and you know what? I hung out with Kim as well. And because of girl code, I couldn't do it. Let's just say that, end quote. Because of this allegation, maybe there are other people out there with similar stories. Other people have claimed online to have had affairs with Kanye, but none of those have been confirmed. At number 2, Tristan Thompson. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson have certainly had their ups and downs in their very difficult relationship. Cheating was apparently always apparent in their relationship since it was believed that Tristan was cheating on his ex with Khloe when they first got together, so the infidelity in their relationship was apparent from the get-go. Things were seemingly going well for them in the beginning, with Khloe and Tristan even welcoming a new baby together, but in April 2018, just shortly before their daughter True was born, photos of Tristan appearing to cheat were leaked, and TMZ leaked footage from 2017 showing Tristan kissing other women at a club. This was a huge deal, especially as this all came out around the birth of their daughter and tensions were sky high. Things died down after a couple weeks as they turned their focus towards their new baby, but later in 2019, more cheating allegations came out detailing how he had been caught cheating on Khloe again, this time with their longtime family friend Jordan Woods. This was supposedly the nail in their relationship's coffin, but now in 2021, there have been reports saying that Khloe and Tristan are back together. There's rumor that the couple have reconciled and are apparently engaged to be married. Khloe has been spotted with a pretty big rock on her finger, so hopefully this means that the infidelity is done with. But unfortunately, you never really know. And finally, at number 1, Mike Cosson. After their 2016 cheating scandal and years of trying to make their marriage work, football player Mike Costin and his wife, singer and actress Jana Kramer, have called it quits on their marriage. Jana took to her social media in late April to announce their split, saying, quote, "It's time. As I try to make sense of a reality I never wanted to believe could be possible again, those words have now become a reality. I fought, y'all. I loved hard, I've forgiven, I put the work in, I've given everything I have, and now I have nothing else to give," end quote. Jana also cited, quote, "inappropriate marital conduct, irreconcilable differences, and adultery" as reasons for their divorce. The pair briefly split up in 2016 following a cheating scandal where Mike's infidelity and sex addiction were brought to light, and though they reconciled shortly after that scandal, it seems as though they weren't able to make things work long term.
Number 10. Will Smith and Margot Robbie. In 2013, Star magazine published a bombshell allegation that Will Smith was caught cheating with his co-star Margot Robbie when they worked together on the movie Focus. The report actually claimed that in photo booth pictures that they found and published on their cover, Will appeared to be shirtless and Margot lifted up her own shirt to reveal her lingerie. The magazine also claimed that after they pulled the curtain back to take the pictures, they were getting very touchy-feely with each other in the dark. The scandal was massive at the time because Will is married to Jada Pinkett Smith, and back then they had yet to admit to having an open relationship. But the rumors soon died down as E! News revealed that the pictures were commissioned by production and that the entire cast and crew saw them being taken. It also came out that Will and Margot are absolutely just friends and there was nothing else going on between them. Even Margot was quick to deny everything on Twitter, quote, "There's absolutely no truth to the ridiculous rumor. It's disappointing that goofing around on set could be taken so out of context." Well, people do tend to jump to conclusions. Number 9. Dominic West and Lily James. The actors were at the height of scandal when they were photographed getting cozy in Rome, all while filming their new series of Pursuit of Love in 2020. The pictures show the stars kissing, sitting at a cafe, standing on the Spanish steps, and riding tandem on a scooter, looking very much to be on a date. Although Lily was single at the time, Dominic has been married to Catherine Fitzgerald for 10 years, and they have 4 children together. A source told The Sun that when Catherine saw the pictures, she was devastated and tried to get a hold of her husband, but he wasn't answering his phone. She was reportedly shocked by the whole thing because she didn't realize anything was going on. But only a few days later, there was a photo taken out the front of the couple's home with a note saying, "Our marriage is strong and we're very much still together. Thank you." Since the incident, James has kept quiet and cancelled various interviews to promote her latest film, Rebecca, which is probably a good decision considering the fact that both parties have not yet publicly talked about their affair since it occurred. Number 8. Chad Michael Murray and Paris Hilton. In 2003, Chad Michael Murray and Sophia Bush fell in love while filming the TV series One Tree Hill. 2 years later, they were married. However, they separated just 5 months later when rumors swirled that Chad had cheated on his wife with Paris Hilton, his co-star on the film House of Wax. During the time he and Paris both worked on the horror film together, they reportedly had an affair, according to Backstreet Boy Nick Carter, who was dating Paris at the time. But after separating, Chad and Sophia still had to keep working together for another 3 years on One Tree Hill. If that's not awkward, I don't know what is. It wasn't until 2011 that the actor decided to rethink the way in which he was living his whole life. Quote, "When you're young and you're thrown into something that I was definitely not ready for, I'm human and I screw up." But his ex-wife definitely took the whole affair much harder, and it's clear that his actions really affected her in the long term. In 2017, she wrote in Cosmopolitan that the scandal was a massive event in her life and the trauma of it was amplified by how public it became. She has also said that she feels the marriage was a joke and it did nothing but reduce her to a Hollywood statistic. Ouch. Number 7. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Jen and Brad got married in 2000 in a lavish Malibu wedding and things were perfect for the Hollywood it couple until they suddenly announced their divorce in 2005. What happened exactly? Well, long story short is, Brad met Angelina for the first time on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and the rest is history. Apparently the movie was filled with so much romantic tension, it was impossible for the two stars not to fall for each other. I mean, Mr. and Mrs. Smith is probably the sexiest spy movie to ever exist, so it's easy to see how everything went down. But the problem was that Brad was still married to Jen. But he didn't let that stop him, and they allegedly still got together despite his marriage. To add insult to injury, he said about his marriage to Jen, quote, "I was trying to pretend the marriage was something that it wasn't. I'm satisfied with making true choices and finding the woman I love, Angie, and building a family that I love so much. That sounds pretty harsh, but it turned out that Brad and Angelina's relationship wasn't just a fling, and they actually went on to date for many years and had a large family before finally getting married in 2014. The love triangle was one of the biggest celebrity scandals of the early 2000s, and it still dominates the tabloids to this day. Number 6. Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher. The actress and writer Carrie Fisher was never one to hold back when she had something to say, and in 2016 she shared a fascinating piece of history in her own memoir called The Princess Diarist. According to Carrie, she had a brief but very intense affair with her Star Wars co-star Harrison Ford while they were filming the movie in 1976. But what's really quite troubling is that People magazine reported that she was just 19 years old when the 3-month affair took place, while Harrison was 36 years old and married to his wife of 15 years, Mary Marquardt. To make matters worse, the couple also shared 2 kids together. In terms of sneaking around, Carrie actually said, quote, "It was Han and Leia during the week and Carrie and Harrison during the weekend." She also explained to The Guardian that the affair between them had eventually come down to unreciprocated love. She said that she'll always feel something for him. The Star Wars actress was so young at the time that they got together, and although she must have known it was wrong, it's hard to say that the blame rests completely on her. What's even sadder is that after Carrie died in 2016, Harrison never fully confessed to the affair, probably more out of shame for cheating on his wife. Number 5. Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The co-stars brought their on-screen romance into the real world after working together on the FX series Fargo. The pair appeared on season 3 of the anthology crime drama, which debuted in April of 2017. Only a month later, the actress announced on social media that she had split from her husband of 7 years, Riley Stearns. Following her separation, Winstead was spotted on a date, hooking up with McGregor in London, and cheating rumors were flying because although she was single, he was very much not. The train-spotting actor was still married to Eve Mavrakis at the time, with whom he shares 4 children. After the Emmy winner was spotted getting cozy with Winstead, fans began to wonder about the status of his marriage, but it wasn't until January of 2018 that his now ex-wife filed for divorce. But while the two managed to keep their romance relatively private, their relationship raised eyebrows even among their family members. In fact, in August of 2018, McGregor's daughter Clara had some strong feelings on the new relationship at the time. She took to Instagram to comment on a Mary Elizabeth Winstead fan page, quote, "Most beautiful and talented woman on earth? Oh man, y'all are delusional. This girl is a piece of trash." Wow. Number 4. Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Although it's been over for decades, Nicole Kidman's marriage to Tom Cruise is still one of Hollywood's most talked about relationships. Cruise met Nicole Kidman on the set of the movie Days of Thunder, and the pair were instantly smitten with one another, and they soon started engaging in a torrid love affair. But at the time of meeting, you guessed it, the Top Gun actor was still married to Mimi Rogers, whom he wed in 1987. As it became clear that the affair was more than just a simple fling, Tom divorced his first wife in February of 1990, and less than 1 year later, he exchanged vows with Nicole in December of 1990. They even adopted 2 children, Isabella Jane and Connor Anthony, and eventually went on to make 2 more movies together as a couple. But as we all know, their marriage was far from perfect, and they ended up splitting a decade later in 2001. Looking back on the divorce, Nicole said, quote, "It took me a very long time to heal. It was a shock to my system. We were in a bubble, just the 2 of us. We became very dependent on one another." Number 3. Billy Crudup and Claire Danes. The massive scandal started in late 2003. Billy and his girlfriend of 8 years, Mary Louise Parker, who at the time was about 7 months pregnant with his son, broke up. The New York Post reported that the actor had moved on with his stage beauty co-star Claire Danes, who was only 24 at the time. In the summer of that year, the former co-stars had been spotted getting cozy all over New York City, and even had a very cute looking courtside date filled with PDA. But Billy wasn't the only cheater in that situation, as Claire also ended up breaking the heart of her longtime boyfriend Ben Lee to be with the actor. Their love affair didn't last long, however, and it's clear that all the heartbreak wasn't even worth it, because they ended up splitting up just 3 years later. Naturally, the ultra-private couple didn't discuss the reason behind their breakup, but the tabloids were happy to do so for them. Several magazines even claimed that Danes had left Billy for Hugh Dancy, but we'll never really know what happened. Years later, Claire said, quote, "I was just in love with him and needed to explore that. I was 24, I didn't quite know what those consequences would be. Number 2. Morena Baccarin and Ben McKenzie. The Homeland actress furiously denied rumors that she had been cheating on her husband at the time, Austin Chick. But when she got pregnant by her Gotham co-star Ben McKenzie, there was very little she could do to cover it up. And just like that, the cheating rumors were confirmed. Although the actress tried to shut down the allegations, according to a TMZ report, the divorce papers filed in 2015 by Austin show that he claimed that he was still sharing a bed with Morena when she conceived Mackenzie's baby. She did get a happy ending though, and eventually gave birth to Mackenzie's daughter Frances in March of 2016, just 2 weeks before her divorce from Austin was finalized, and went on to marry Mackenzie in June the following year. But did she at least feel a little bad for sleeping with her co-star while she was married? Well, not really. In fact, she told People magazine that working with him on Gotham was wonderful. Quote, "Ben's the sweetest. It's very nice to work with your significant other, especially when you're pregnant, because you know you'll get some extra TLC and get taken care of." I mean, yeah, I guess that sounds nice if you can ignore the question of how they met. Number 1. John Malkovich and Michelle Pfeiffer. The legendary actor John Malkovich caused intense scandal both on and off the screen when it came to filming 1998's Dangerous Liaisons with his co-star Michelle Pfeiffer. At the time, the actor had been married to actress Glenn Headley for 6 years, but that completely fell apart in the midst of his affair with Michelle. Interestingly enough, even the film's director, Stephen Frears, said, quote, "Dangerous Liaisons is about betrayal and lies and relationships unraveling. It was one of those times where reality and art intersect. It was overwhelming to John. Even for a man who delights in bad behavior, that was a difficult time. Not to mention the fact that John's older brother, Danny, told Entertainment Weekly in 1993 that when the actor came home with Michelle, that was the happiest that he had ever seen him. But even though John and his ex-wife got divorced in 1988, the affair didn't last long either, and they reportedly broke up not long after. But apparently Malkovich took the breakup very hard and reportedly cried for a whole year. The two of them must have really had something special, because he told The Guardian in 2008, quote, "It's hard to believe Michelle Pfeiffer ever said hello to me." I mean, if you can forget about the fact that he cheated on his wife, it's still romantic the way he talks about Michelle.
Kicking off our list is Arnold Schwarzenegger. A bombshell was dropped when Arnold and his ex-wife announced their separation after 25 years back in 2011. But the most shocking thing was actually the reason why, and it was revealed that Arnold had an affair with their housekeeper, Mildred Patricia Benea. But it wasn't just a one-time thing. He was actually having a relationship with her outside of his marriage, to a point where they even had a secret child together in 1997. It literally sounds like a movie plot, I'm not gonna lie, like having a secret child with someone else when you're married. The only good news of this whole situation is that Arnold was able to keep a healthy relationship with his son Joseph, who, by the way, is a spitting image of him. Literally twins. Both very muscular too. Moving on to number 9 is David Letterman. He was with his wife for over 20 years and married for less than 6 months when he admitted to having an affair with different women that worked for him. The worst part is he openly admitted it on air on his live talk show, which is incredibly awkward, specifically saying that he had sex with his longtime assistant Stephanie Burkett. The scandal all started because Stephanie's boyfriend, Joe Halderman, a producer at CBS, allegedly tried to extort Letterman for $2 million in exchange for his silence. So Letterman just took it into his own hands and decided to announce it on his show so that the truth would be known and he didn't have to pay anyone to keep his mouth shut. You know what I'm saying? But he and his wife are still together regardless of what happened, and he recently said that they are happier than ever. So cruising into number 8, we have Jay-Z. When Beyonce released her song Lemonade, she gave light on her marriage to Jay-Z. There was so much speculation on who Becky with the good hair was that it turned into a popular meme. The two of them remained quiet on the subject for a while until Jay-Z released a new album which was full of apologies to Beyonce and their daughter Blue. He eventually came clean during an interview and said that he had cheated, and explains that they were able to work through it for the sake of their daughter. And they seem to be going strong. Signing at number 7 is Kris Jenner. I cover a lot of celebrity drama across our channels, and I'm not gonna lie, I never knew about this one. This one came as a complete shock to me when I was researching. Kris wrote a memoir in 2011, and in it she admitted to having an affair with her first husband, Rob Kardashian. Her memoir, titled Kris Jenner and All Things Kardashian, dished all the details where she revealed that she had an affair with a false name that she called Ryan. But her friend, Todd Waterman, later admitted during an interview that Ryan was actually him. When Kris was asked about this whole thing during an interview, she just strongly stated that her only regret in life was divorcing Rob Kardashian, who, if you don't know, did pass away. Swiping the number 6 spot is Kevin Hart. His cheating scandal got hella confusing to keep up with. When allegations first came out that he was cheating on his wife, Nico Parrish, he was in full denial. But then he got put in the middle of an extortion attempt. Someone allegedly was in possession of a video of him with another woman engaging in sexual activity, and they were going to expose him if they did not receive their money. But Kevin ended up posting a video on his Instagram where he apologized despite denying everything. He captioned it, "Sending so many apologies to my wife and kids. I gotta do better and I will. I'm not perfect and never have claimed to be. I love you all." During an interview after that, he did admit to the cheating. Sadly, this is not Kevin Hart's only cheating scandal. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Jude Law. He and Sienna Miller were once one of Hollywood's it couples, but then he got exposed for cheating on her. His story hit closer to home, literally, because he cheated on Sienna with their children's nanny. The affair happened in 2006 and he admitted to cheating with her nanny Daisy Wright, which was happening on the regular. He ended up releasing a public apology to her, and Sienna spoke up about it, saying that it was a private moment where she had to get her heart broken in front of the entire world. But at the same time, had he not been exposed, she may have never found out that this was even happening. So it's kind of like a blessing in disguise, but that would frickin' suck. Oh my god, I would hate going through that in the public eye. Rolling at number 4 is Hugh Grant. Cheating is not illegal, but it is when you are doing it in a public place. The actor was arrested back in 1995 when he was caught having sex in public with a prostitute who he paid, apparently, this is details, I don't know how I know this, it was in this article. He paid $60 for her to perform oral sex on him. Just thought I should let you guys know in on exactly what happened. That was a scandal in itself, but what made it worse was that he had a girlfriend at the time. He was actually dating Elizabeth Hurley. Despite the cheating though, she did stick around with him for 5 years after that. However, they eventually broke up. She was able to move forward and make a joke about it on her show The Royals. Her character hired a male escort who called himself Huge Grant. That's the best revenge right there. In the 3rd spot is Kristen Stewart. The Twilight actress was on top of the world when dating her co-star Robert Pattinson. But then she got exposed and sent the world into a giant frenzy, just breaking a ton of Twilight fan hearts. And Rob's, of course. She was dating her Twilight love interest in real life when the paparazzi exposed her for cheating on him. In August 2011, pictures surfaced of Kristen making out with another man. But what made the scandal so spicy was that she was making out with her Snow White and the Huntsman film director, Rupert Sanders. He was 41 years old at the time and Kristen was only 22, and he was married to Liberty Ross and fathered her 2 children. Her steamy makeout pictures were just everywhere. They were all over the internet, and she didn't know what else to do but issue a public apology. However, they were not able to bounce back from this one. Making his way into number 2 is Tristan Thompson. He got busted for cheating on more than one occasion. The first time was when his girlfriend Khloe Kardashian was in the hospital about to literally physically give birth to their child. Like she was in the delivery room. Security footage leaked online showing him kissing another woman in a nightclub more than one time. Other video footage showed him going into a hotel with the same woman that he was kissing in the club. Khloe forgave him and stuck by his side, but then later down the road, it was revealed that he cheated again with Kylie Jenner's best friend Jordan Woods, who was like a younger sister to Khloe. Poor Khloe. This guy sucks. Earning number 1 place is Tiger Woods. His divorce was one of the most explosive divorces in celebrity history. It was Thanksgiving in 2009 when his entire life changed because news broke that he had been cheating. It was this explosive event between him and his wife. After she found out that he was a serial cheater, she chased him out of the house with a golf club, hit him, like knocked him unconscious, and then smashed up his Escalade. Turns out he was cheating with multiple women, but one in particular, Rachel Uchitel. His wife took his phone while he was sleeping and texted Rachel pretending to be him and got all the details of the affair that she needed. He ended up doing an interview where he took full responsibility for being unfaithful. Not that it changes anything. Starting off our list at number 10 is Ashton Kutcher. Don't freak out, the actor didn't cheat on his wife and mother of his children, Mila Kunis. He actually cheated on his wife that came before her, Demi Moore. The actress was 16 years older than Ashton and had 3 teenage girls when they first got together. When they got married, he was only 25 years old. The age difference had rumors flying that there was trouble in paradise when it came to their marriage. The majority of rumors were that Ashton was cheating on Demi with multiple different women. The rumors may not have stuck, but one alleged hookup sure did when there was proof. Paparazzi captured pictures of Ashton leaving his hotel, the Roosevelt, with Sarah Leal in the car with him. After the picture surfaced, Sarah came forward with the truth, saying that they hooked up in a hot tub in September 2011 on his 6-year anniversary with Moore. During an interview with The Sun, she stated, and I quote, "We had sex twice, everything felt natural, we were having a good time, one thing led to another. He was good, it wasn't weird or perverted or creepy. I was attracted to him and he was attracted to me." She also went on to say that Ashton told her he was separated from Demi at the time when they hooked up. Needless to say, Ashton and Demi officially divorced not long after the truth came out. At number 9 is Leanne Rimes. She's known for a bit of everything, acting, singing, and she's even recognized now as an author. She is a triple threat. However, one thing she isn't very good at is being faithful to her husband. Her cheating scandal caused a lot of controversy when photos of her kissing her co-star Eddie Cibrian at a romantic dinner together. Turns out Eddie was married too. The scandal made headlines back in 2009 when the footage was leaked from a restaurant security camera. The photo snapshots show the two actors holding hands, kissing, and cuddling up next to each other. Rimes was married to Dean Shermitt since 2002, and Eddie was married to Brandi Glanville since 2001 and even had 2 kids with her. Once both of their spouses were made aware of the cheating, they both pulled the plug on their marriage. Leanne and Eddie eventually married each other in 2011. How romantic. Taking over the number 8 spot is Balthazar Getty. Most people remember this scandal because the picture went viral of the famous topless holiday cheating scandal. Back in 2008, the actor's career was in its prime when he starred in Brothers and Sisters. Not only was his career going well, but so was his marriage. He had a long-term marriage with his wife Rosetta Getty, and the two of them even had 4 children together. That was quickly ruined when he was caught having an affair with Sienna Miller. They were caught together in Italy on a vacation when topless photos of Sienna made headlines. Getty and his wife separated for 2 years after the incident, but decided to work things out. The actor and his wife opened up during an interview with People magazine and said that it actually made their marriage stronger. As for Sienna, she later dated Jude Law, who ended up cheating on her with their nanny. Karma? At number 7, we have Katharine McPhee. Her career first started in the music industry when she came in 2nd place during her season on American Idol. She later transitioned into the acting world when she landed a starring role on the television series Smash in 2012. During her time on the show, paparazzi managed to get some photos of Katharine and the director of the series, Michael Morris, kissing, which definitely wasn't part of her job description. Both of them were guilty because they were both married at the time. Michael was married to the mother of his 3 children, and Katharine had been married to a man named Nick Kokos for 5 years at that point. Her husband ended up filing for divorce, and the paperwork was finalized in 2014. Swiping the number 6 spot is Ryan Phillippe. For a long time, the actor was married to Reese Witherspoon, and they were one of Hollywood's most admired couples. They got married in 1999 and were together until 2006, where they had 2 kids together, a daughter and a son. The couple always came across as having the perfect relationship, which is why people were stunned when Ryan was photographed kissing another woman while he was still married to Reese. Photos made headlines of Ryan and the Australian beauty Abby Cornish having a public makeout session. In 2007, Ryan and Reese divorced as a result of the cheating scandal, and eventually Ryan spoke openly on his romance with his mistress. The two of them continued to be in a relationship together until 2010. Halfway through the list at number 5 is Elizabeth Taylor. The actress was part of a huge Hollywood scandal all the way back in 1962. It was one of the most scandalous and iconic headlines made during the time. Paparazzi caught Elizabeth spending some romantic time with Richard Burtman on a private yacht. The first photo appeared in June of 1962, and people were shocked seeing as both of them had been married at the time. Elizabeth was married to her 4th husband at the time, Eddie Fisher, and Richard was married to his first wife, Sibel Williams. Once the pictures were out, the two of them left their marriages to be together. together. They became an iconic couple in Hollywood and got married only 1 year after the scandal on March 15, 1964. Their love story was legendary, but for all the wrong reasons. Here we are at number 4 with Hugh Grant. Even with photographic evidence, some actors are able to weasel their way out of the wrongdoings. But Hugh's photographs are not the typical kissing photo like anyone else on this list. Not only was he publicly outed for cheating on his girlfriend in 1995, he was also arrested because he had solicited an escort. His cheating scandal pictures, his mugshot, and hers. There is no way you're possibly talking yourself out of this one. Back then, Hugh Grant and his girlfriend Elizabeth Hurley were one of Hollywood's power couples, or so everyone thought. During the scandal, fans were shocked that Elizabeth actually stood by her man's side. It didn't last very long though, the damage had already been done and they split not too long after. Taking the number 3 spot is Kristen Stewart. Her scandal broke the hearts of many Twilight fans. She began dating her co-star and movie boyfriend Robert Pattinson while filming the Twilight series of movies. Fans were obsessed with their love story since they got to see it in the movies and also in real life. She ruined their love story when she was caught cheating with her Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Sanders. The paparazzi leaked the photos in 2012, which showed the two of them making out in a car and snuggling up together on a deserted hike. Not only was Kristen in a relationship, but so was Rupert. He was married to Liberty Ross and also had kids with her. Robert, Liberty, and fans were all heartbroken by the shocking scandal. Kristen issued a statement saying, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, the person I love and respect the most, Rob." The two of them split not long after, and Rupert's wife filed for divorce the following year. Alright guys, at number 2 we have Marlon Wayans, the actor who made big waves in the acting industry when he starred in White Chicks back in 2004, one of my favorite movies to this day. However, I am not too pleased with the actor after learning about his cheating scandal. The scandal happened in 2012 when he had been dating his girlfriend and mother of his 2 children, Angelica Zachary, for 12 years. Pictures made headlines that showed Marlon kissing and caressing a mystery brunette on a private yacht in St. Barth's. Some people were shocked while others stated that he's always had some commitment issues. During an interview with Wendy Williams before the scandal took place, he revealed that he and Angelica don't even live together, even though they have kids together. When asked why, he said, "I like to keep it fresh. When you live together, that's when the sweatpants and the cream on the face comes out and it kind of says you're not going to get some." How did he possibly explain this to his kids? He later admitted that once his kids found out about the cheating, they physically lashed out at him. Angelica decided to stick it out with him, but they ended up getting a divorce in 2013. Taking the number 1 spot is Kevin Hart. This one cut deep for me because he is one of my favorite comedians, so it's hard not losing any respect for him. Not only was Kevin married at the time of his cheating scandal, but his wife was actually pregnant. He was on a trip in Las Vegas when camera footage broke the internet showing the actor getting up close and personal with an exotic dancer. The footage was taken from a Vegas nightclub surveillance video. Once the footage was out there, Kevin came forward in a shocking Instagram video where he confessed his affair to his millions of followers to try and stop the mistress from trying to get money from him in exchange for her silence. At the time all of this was going on, his second wife was in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy. Turns out his wife was actually the mistress that broke up Kevin's first marriage, so their story is kind of a mess altogether. Kevin continued to publicly own up to his actions and apologize for his mistakes, which his wife actually forgave him for.
Number 10. The leaked video at the nightclub with Alex. In late September, a video started to circulate the web, and in the video you can see Ned Fulmer and his employee, Alex Herring, engaging in some pretty heavy PDA at the club in New York City. This video would come to prove the final clue to the puzzle to prove that Ned Fulmer was the ultimate cheater. While the cheating scandal would come to a shock to most, since Ned was always pictured as this perfect wife guy, many were quick to note that they always got this weird vibe off of Ned. Ned was also known to gush about his wife throughout the show, so when the scandal broke news, many felt like it was the ultimate betrayal. Ultimately, Ned didn't try to deny his infidelity and admitted he had a consensual workplace commonplace relationship with his coworker. The Try Guys have since removed Ned from any of the Try Guys videos, and they no longer see a path moving forward together. 9. Over gushing about his wife. When a guy bases his entire personality off of one thing, you should definitely start considering who this person really is, especially when it comes to every episode. My wife, my wife, my wife, my wife. And even in one of Ned's past employees picked up on the clues. In an interview with past employee Sarah Pohl, she shared her personal experiences working with Ned at BuzzFeed when he was the co-creator and executive producer. Sarah noted she was not a fan of working with Fulmer, and over the course of time she expressed her feelings to her co-workers, but everybody played her out to be the wrong one. Sarah noted that she could tell Ned wasn't faithful with his wife and threw shade at the YouTuber by saying, "Don't trust people that make one thing their entire personality." Before ending the interview, she noted that the whole cheating scandal was a lesson to be learned by everyone involved, because it was pretty obvious he was cheating before the cheating rumors even started to circulate. Number 8. The lie detector episode. In a video called The Try Guys Take a Lie Detector Test, at the start of the video, Ned is asked if he's keeping secrets from the rest of the Try Guy crew. When Ned responds, "I don't think so," it comes back as a lie. Many have speculated that the secret was in fact his relationship with Alex Herring. However, what makes this episode even more suspicious is when they asked Eugene if he secretly thought that Ned and his wife were going to get divorced someday. When Eugene said no and the lie detector came back saying Eugene was lying, no one thought anything about it. However, now it leaves you to question, did the Try Guys lie about knowing about Ned's infidelity? Well, the answer is yes, because how could you know someone would get divorced one day if you didn't know what they were up to? The episode then goes on to ask Ned if he believed if he had a better marriage than John. Ned went on to say, "I assume, yeah. He's in older marriages, and as you get older, you know, it tends to get not so good." He then highlights that him and his wife have stuff going on, and everybody does. The tension was definitely building for that moment, but it's clear throughout the episode the team was highlighting the fact that Ned was cheating on his wife, and none of us were picking up on it. If you like this video, please get a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 7. The episode about cheating. In an episode with Ned and Kelsey, Ned asked Kelsey if she's ever cheated on any of her partners. When she answers yes, Ned acted overly surprised, almost as if he was like, "Yeah, I can relate." And throughout the episode, he stayed like that, and he was really interested in the topic. The episode states what counts as cheating and how you can bounce back from it. The two went on to say, if you feel like you're cheating, you probably are. Kelsey then goes on to say, and if you ever cheat on anyone, you should never tell them, because it's your punishment for cheating on someone, and you have to keep that burden on you, and you have to live with that guilt. And if you do end up telling someone, all you're actually doing is doing yourself a favor. Throughout this statement, you can see Ned let out a sigh of relief and laugh, like he was glad someone told him not to tell his partner he was cheating, and that he needed just to feel guilty. He then goes on to highlight that if someone does cheat, it indicates that there are some deeper problems, and by keeping it in, it does more harm, so you should always tell your person. So why did he never tell Ariel about his affair? He then admits that one time he was in Chicago with his friends while Ariel was asleep, and while his wife was sleeping, he was out dancing with a girl or two and got a little close. He did talk to his wife about it after, but did he tell her the exact truth? Number 6. Caught out for dinner with Alex Herring. Just days after the cheating scandal broke, a woman on TikTok claimed she caught Ned cheating in May. In a video posted to the TikTok user's page, she alleged to her followers that she saw Ned out for lunch at Castaway in Burbank, California, back in May with a woman who was not his wife. In the caption, she went to say, tried to warn the wifey. She then claimed that she sent the video of Ned to Ariel at the time writing, "Hi, I'm not sure of the ins and outs of your marriage, and I'm not trying to start anything. However, I would like to know if this was my husband." She then went on to note that she told Ariel it was either her husband or his doppelganger, and that she saw him there with a younger girl with dark long hair, and they were kissing in some of the photos and videos she took of them. Ariel either never saw these messages or chose to never respond. It makes you wonder, did she know about the affair happening for months? And if she did, why did she never say anything? 5. Body language. If you ever watched the Try Guy videos, any episode Alex and Ned were in, there was definitely tension between the stars. And if you ever notice to go back and watch a couple of the videos, you'll see the two's body language indicated they were having an affair. They would be over giggly, they would talk to each other like they were on a first date. They would also sit extremely close to each other, and anytime Ned would say something, Alex was laughing. The two have been hinting at their affair for quite some time now. However, none of us thought to question it because of the amount of time Ned chose to gush over his wife. We were blinded by the innocence that we failed to notice the chemistry happening in front of our eyes. And if we could notice it now, then the Try Guys definitely noticed it a long time ago. So if you haven't noticed the chemistry from these two, go back, watch a couple videos, because you'll definitely notice certain moments with the stars together in the same room will hit different and make you really question, why didn't we notice before? Number 4, the double dip in the sauce. In an episode Alex would appear in without Ned, the group would be trying chicken and sauces. When Zach went to dip, he chose the oat milk and Ariel passed it to him. When the group labeled it as a bad move, Zach went on to say it was actually pretty good. The group then goes on to note that it was such a Ned move, and then Zach threw some shade at Ned by saying he was dipping it in water and Leslie should get over in the video. While the group was laughing, saying there's probably a Leslie somewhere out there, throwing her hands up in the air yelling yes, Alex went on to say, "I miss Ned," and I'm sure she really did. Just after she says she misses Ned, Zach then takes her sauce cup and dips it into the oat milk for the second time. So it makes you wonder, so the dip was a hint that there was a deeper meaning to Ned's and Ariel's fun, or did Zach actually like the taste of his chicken with oat milk? Number 3. His dad. While talking to his dad about the time his dad separated from Ned's mom, Ned admitted to his dad he was young and stupid, and when he found out his dad had separated from his mom, he had a feeling as if he should see multiple people at the same time, and that's just what he did. Ned felt because his dad was out seeing other women, it was okay for him to as well. Now, it wasn't clear if he was with Ariel at this time. However, Ned did admit at one point he was seeing multiple people because he felt like it was okay because his dad was doing the same thing. It is clear, however, Ned was struggling to connect with his dad and felt that other women would satisfy his deeper connection he was looking for. If psychology has taught us anything, it's that when people feel abandonment, it can lead them to cheat. So was Ned's cheating on Ariel related to his father leaving him, or was there just a deeper meaning behind the scandal? And number 2, the Try Guys video. After the cheating scandal broke headlines, the Try Guys wanted to clear the air. In a video called What Happened posted to their official YouTube page, the current members, Eugene, Zach, and Keith, addressed their fans about the scandal, and they appeared to be upset by the whole matter. They revealed that they were made aware of the sightings with Ned and Alex on Labor Day weekend, and that they also had their own suspicions about the affair, and that they were entering into a 3-week process of engaging with employment lawyers, corporate lawyers, HR, PR, and the group was making sure that they were taking all necessary steps to address the issue at hand. The group went on to say that they were taking these allegations really seriously and that they were refusing to sweep anything under the rug, and they didn't stand for the current situation. The group said that pending an investigation, they have edited out Ned from videos, and some videos will not be released due to Ned's heavily involvement in them. The group did intend to handle the situation differently, but with the sudden seriousness of the allegations, it forced them to address it sooner. They noted they were all shocked and deeply hurt, and they went on to note that they were losing a friend and someone they built a company with, but they were firing Ned because they no longer saw a path moving forward together any longer. At number 1, we have his apology. We have to give it to Ned for not trying to sweep this under the rug like many other stars have done in the past. Instead of lying about the affair, Ned came out to say it was true. In a statement to his wife he posted to his Instagram feed, Ned went on to say, "My family should have always been my priority, but I lost focus and I had a consensual workplace relationship. I'm sorry for any pain that my action may have caused to the guys and to the fans, but most of all to Ariel. The only thing that matters right now is my marriage and my children, and that's where I'm going to focus my attention." Around the same time, Ariel shared a similar statement and asked everybody to respect the couple's privacy for the sake of the couple's children. With Ned no longer being a part of the Try Guys for his actions, he's gonna have a lot of time to focus on his family and everything that has happened.
At number 10, we have the Try Guys. Now, the remaining Try Guys, Zach, Keith, and Eugene, are definitely the last people anyone was expecting to completely shun one of their members. But it seems that the internet actually agrees with their statement and decision, and some fans have even praised TTG for taking the side of Ariel and Ned's wrongdoings. Staying ahead of the then brewing scandal, the Try Guys took to Instagram the same day the initial cheating rumors leaked to inform the public of their decision to cut ties with Ned. However, a few weeks prior, TTG also posted an iconic TikTok video featuring the caption, "He's a 10 but he's married." Big yikes, this did not age well. If you haven't already, comment below your personal favorite reaction to Ned's Try Guy cheating scandal. At number 9, we have Ariel Fulmer. Ariel is the mother of Ned's 2 kids and has been one of the most affected parties by her husband's horrible entanglement. Ariel also released a statement across her social platforms to thank fans for their support during this difficult time. Quote, "Nothing is more important to me and Ned than our family, and all we request right now is that you respect our privacy for the sake of our kids." Ariel's post came following Ned's confirmation of cheating on her with Alex in an Instagram upload. Since the scandal has come to light, Try Guy fans everywhere have wanted more details regarding Ariel and how she reacted to his extramarital affair with his employee. The couple first tied the knot in 2012 after 2 years of serious dating. Their first child, Wesley, was welcomed in 2018. The couple shared their second child, Finley, in 2020. The spouses both host a parenting podcast known as Baby Steps. However, they haven't uploaded an episode since 2021. In September 2022, rumors that Ned emotionally broke apart his marriage by being unfaithful with producer Alex circulated. This also took a hit to the Try Guys self-made company founded by all 3 current members of the former BuzzFeed employees and Ned. Said gossip originated from a Reddit thread and then again through a since-deleted Twitter thread, which made note that Ned was missing from TTG's latest 3 videos at the time, and had also been cut out of the group's video intros and podcasts as well. Additionally, it described Ariel also being a no-show for her podcast You Can't Sit With Us, which the wife hosts with other romantic partners of the remaining Try Guy members. The initial user also claimed that they spoke with Ariel for about an hour after the events. Coming from the seemingly picture-perfect marriage between the wife guy and his leading lady, Ned's infidelity sure shocked just about the whole world. At number 8, we have Will Thayer. On the other side of the coin, for who has been the most heavily pained by the experience, we have Alex's former fiance Will. This ex seemed to be letting bygones be just that, as he raised the glass of champagne after posting images of Alex cheating with Ned. Videos of their inappropriate weekend emerged on the internet as quickly as any hot news story would, and the results were low-key a catastrophe when they reached the hands of Will through an online clubgoer contacting Will about everything. These messages were later proven to have been about Ned and Alex. Ned faced termination of employment when he admitted to cheating after being spotted making out, dancing with, and touching Alex in a New York City club. However, Will has seemingly better things to do than wallow around in his misery about it, as he toasted to his reclaimed bachelor status on Instagram in light of the disintegration of his engagement. Will's friend Steven Kazort was the person who captured Will raising his glass to celebrate new beginnings and self-worth. The caption on the social media post was, "My boy's back in town. If you know, you know." It took Will absolutely no time to dump Alex once it was revealed that she had cheated on him with her boss. Will also disclosed that he was the one to contact Ariel about the occurrence, which he said he too discussed for an hour with her. According to reports by the Daily Mail, Will took down all images of Alex from his Instagram account and changed his page to private. Alex herself has still not made any comments on the issue. At number 7, we have Jake LaRosa. Numerous content creators of BuzzFeed also took to social media to comment on the shocking news attached to the Try Guys. Despite some of them having since deleted their initial 2 cents, everybody knows what goes on the internet stays on the internet. And we're starting with former Try Guys social media manager Jake, who went went viral in the midst of Ned's extramarital affair leak. On September 27th, Jake uploaded a TikTok disclosing his resignation from the TTG Collective, which has since reached viral fame on every social media platform. The 24-year-old was the previous social media manager for the former quartet turned trio, and as per the media outlet Just Jared, Jake was the handler of the comedic group's second YouTube channel as well. More so, Jake has been featured in some of the Try Guys' most popular videos, with the latest being Try Guys staff tries vegan McDonald's. Jake also made an appearance in another famous video alongside Keith on his personal YouTube channel. For this, Jake posted a sneak peek clip of his time on Instagram where he wrote, "Thanks for having me on Eat the Menu, Keith." Furthermore, Jake also uploaded to that same platform back in 2021 where he shared a handful of images with the caption, "Swipe to see my reaction when I found out I'd be working for the Try Guys." However, outside of his good times with the group, his recent TikTok about resigning from the collective ahead of the Ned situation soon erupted on social media. The video featured the screen words, "Good morning to everyone except Adam Levine, John Mulaney, and ... As Jake gives attitude to the camera, the shot creates a slow pan effect over a cover book image that Jake is holding of Ned with Ariel as they hosted the couple's 2021 The Date Night Cookbook. Jake recorded himself sipping on a mugged beverage while a song with the lyrics "You ruined everything, you stupid itch" played in the audio as background music. The TikTok was captioned, "My last day was Friday," which proved to his followers that Jake had officially hung his towel to dry with the now three-piece collective. At number 6, we have Kelsey Dara. Now, fans received a double reaction from Kelsey, who is an alum of the BuzzFeed company where Try Guys first got their start from. When a random Twitter user tweeted, "The most ironic part of the Ned Fulmer Try Guys drama is that someone at BuzzFeed is going to write an article about this," Kelsey speedily clapped back with the response, "T-minus 13 minutes. In addition to her quip, Kelsey further wrote, "All jokes aside, Zach is one of my best friends and best people I know and deserves all the love and support because he's a badass creative and a big heart dude who works incredibly hard." At number 5, we have Devin Little and Maya Murillo. For Devin's reaction, she took a bit more of a realistic approach to how she issued her criticism. In her tweet on the thought-sharing social media platform, Devin shaded, "2022, the year we realized that white guys are still guys." She also made another simple comment with the word "oop" on another fellow BuzzFeed employee, Maya Murillo's tweet. Maya, on the other hand, shared a tweet of her own, which at 2:47 p.m. stated, quote, "Very much not surprised." At number 4, we have Sam Stryker. As if the list of BuzzFeed employees chiming in on the tea couldn't get any longer, we have Sam up next. His 2 sentences involved spreading a meme of Kris and Kylie Jenner questioningly glancing at a computer side by side, alongside the messy caption, "Me, a former BuzzFeed employee, getting caught up on the Try Guys drama this morning." And it seems that judging solely based on Ned's BuzzFeed employees' reactions thus far, it's clear his scandal has quite literally everyone shook. At number 3, we have Quinta Brunson and Jasmine Robbins. Quinta took a surprisingly level-headed approach to the drama by seemingly curving it all, pretty much declaring that she does not receive it. Rather than address it directly like a lot of her other BuzzFeed coworkers, Quinta instead tweeted a simple message of, "All I know is that there's a new episode of Abbott Elementary tomorrow night." However, Jasmine, well, she was a bit more cryptic with her tweet, but still managed to hit him where it hurts when she uploaded a Kermit the Frog meme and wrote, "Y'all shocked?" By doing this, it hints that the BuzzFeed workers might have been well aware of the affair brewing between Ned and Alex, but hey, that's just speculation. At number 2, we have Kristen Chirico. Now, Kristen definitely made the implication that all the former BuzzFeed staff were venturing back into their abandoned group chat to hash out the drama in a tweet, which reads, "I have reconnected with almost every work friend I have in the last 8 hours. There have been quite a few onlookers who believe that the workers of BuzzFeed, both present and past, who've gotten involved are merely problematic and catty, while others find it commendable and downright humorous." At number 1, we have TTG fans. Supporters of the Try Guys have been the absolute loudest about how they felt regarding the unfolding scandal. The Try Guys' success only tripled when they suddenly gained heavy mainstream attention in light of the affair, as people, like us, just can't seem to stop talking about it. This can most likely be blamed for the events falling in line barely a week prior to Adam Levine's alleged infidelity. Both Adam and Ned's relationship have been characterized as them historically being husbands who are uber vocal about how much love they have for their wives. So naturally, fans had a lot to say. Twitter user Maria OK98 started off the conversation with, "Try Guys dropping Ned Fulmer for cheating on his wife and not just automatically sticking by their friend is what we like to see." More users added to the Twitterverse drama to share their reactions while the scandal untangled itself, and a few even noted the irony of the Try Guys' previous "He's a 10" TikTok. User Bravenclaw reiterated the sentiment by posting the tweet, "He really said he's a 10, but he's already married." Alea Irene tweeted in response, "Keyboard smash, the Try Guys posted a TikTok 8 weeks ago where Ned said he's a 10 but he's already married, and it's getting a sudden burst of activity and showed up on my For You page." Like Twitter users Alea and Braven, many other social media posters began revisiting past TTG videos to uncover more ironically iconic moments. Another tweeter, Vinci again, was quick to recall the BuzzFeed employees who were adding to the mess. Quote, ex-BuzzFeed employees commenting on Ned and the Try Guys is my Avengers Assemble. Several other tweets took to the platform to express their confusion about this scandal, including Wonder Woman's Linda Carter. However, on a level of fans alone, Summer Sunshine stated, well, this aged beautifully, to reference a clip of some of the Try Guys questioning Ned on whether or not he was hiding any secrets from them, to which Ned denies with a sus don't think so. One other poster, Fejos Fodi, tweeted, the Try Guys try predicting the future, from a snippet during another TTG video where Ariel's being filmed saying, Ned is cheating, I'm calling you.
Number 10. Justin Timberlake and Elisha Wainwright. Justin Timberlake and Elisha Wainwright made headlines when they were spotted holding hands during a night out in New Orleans. The two actors were shooting the movie Palmer, which is a drama about an ex-college football star who returns home after being in prison. The co-stars were photographed together getting cozy at a bar in Louisiana, sitting at a table holding hands and talking to one another. The photos showed Justin, who didn't appear to be wearing his wedding ring, holding hands with the actress under a table and drinking together. At one point, Elisha could be seen resting her hand on the singer's knee, and while he was standing up, putting his arm around her waist. The photos caused a huge scandal because he's been married to Jessica Biel since 2012. Their relationship was really being tested, and Justin had to make a public statement the following month, apologizing for his strong lapse in judgment and claimed that despite the photos, nothing happened between him and his co-star. Number 9. LeAnn Rimes and Eddie Cibrian. This affair was not exactly unique. In fact, it's a story so common in Hollywood that it borders on cliche. The actors were co-stars who met on the set of a Lifetime movie called Northern Lights. They immediately hit it off and the flirting began. But the kicker was that they were both already married at the time to other people. But hey, in classic Hollywood fashion, they didn't let that stop them, and not long after meeting, they were photographed having dinner together, and the rumor mill did the rest. After extreme press coverage of the affair, both LeAnn and Eddie decided to make it official and separated from their respective spouses to be with each other. They eventually ended up tying the knot in 2011, but the story doesn't entirely end there. A few years later, Eddie was caught cheating on LeAnn at Wendy Williams' 50th birthday party, but she claims she's unfazed by the whole thing and doesn't seem to mind if he flirts with other women. You know what they say, sometimes how you get them is how you lose them too. Number 8. Helena Bonham Carter and Kenneth Branagh. The two are believed to have begun their secret relationship on the set of the film Frankenstein in 1994, which Kenneth played the lead role and Helena played Frankenstein's adopted sister, Elizabeth. At the time, he had been married to Emma Thompson for 8 years, who was adored by fans. The two were even dubbed the golden couple by the British press, and seemingly had the perfect marriage, which is why the affair caused a massive scandal that rocked tabloids across the nation. They split in 1995, and years later, Emma has admitted that her tearful scenes in Love Actually were so persuasive because she had had her heart broken very badly by Kenneth. It was a little awkward because both actresses had to work together in the Harry Potter films, with Helena playing Bellatrix and Emma playing Professor Trelawney. But in 2013, she revealed that the two had made their peace years ago, and that the divorce was all blood under the bridge. But Emma even joked that she and her Harry Potter co-star were both slightly mad and a little bit fashion challenged, and she said, quote, perhaps that's why Ken loved us both. Number 7. Abby Cornish and Ryan Philippe. The actor first met Reese Witherspoon while starring alongside her in the 1999 movie Cruel Intentions. They actually fell so in love with each other that they ended up getting married that same year. But all good things must come to an end, especially Hollywood romances, and in 2008, Ryan started to get closer to his new co-star, Australian actress Abby Cornish, while they were filming the movie Stop Loss. The two of them seemed to be so comfortable being seen in public together that they were eventually caught having dinner together in a Texas restaurant, despite the fact that there were some curtains around the table. They were also caught together again just outside of Ryan's apartment. The affair was so in your face, it really wasn't funny. But it wasn't until Reese discovered intimate messages back and forth that were being exchanged between the two of them on his phone. Then it was clear that after 7 years of marriage and 2 children, Reese was ready to call it quits with Ryan, and later went on to marry talent agent Jim Toth, whilst Ryan and Abby's love affair eventually lost its spark. Number 6. Kerry Russell and Matthew Rhys. The actors played secret KGB agents and love interests on the FX spy drama The Americans. The romance between the two sparked while on set, but there was just one problem. At the time, Kerry was still married to Shane Deary, with whom she had 2 kids. The two leads play like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and so naturally, many believe their steamy scenes were indicative of a real-life romance. At the time though, they both heavily denied it. When talking about their sex scenes, Matthew said, quote, "We've all done a million of them in this crazy life we sign up for." He said that eventually the clinical element of it kicks in, which sort of takes away from that embarrassment. But it's obvious that there was really something going on, as the two of them were shopping for furniture together at Christmas in 2013. Not long after, Kerry parted ways with her now ex-husband. Unlike most cheating scandals though, this one seemed to turn out quite well, as Kerry, Matthew and Shane reportedly go on vacations together and frequently dine out as friends. Not only that, but in 2016, Kerry and Matthew welcomed their first child together and became a blended family. Number 5. Tori Spelling and Dean McDermott. The Beverly Hills 90210 star and her husband, Dean McDermott, have been making headlines since their scandalous start. The two actors met on the set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, only a year after Spelling married her first husband, Charlie Shanahan. Dean was also married at the time for more than a decade to Mary Jo Eustace, with whom he shares a son. Tori and Dean began cheating on their spouses the night they met. In fact, she wrote about the affair in her 2009 memoir, quote, "It was love at first sight. I fell so hard. Then I noticed he had a wedding ring. When someone asked, he pulled out photos of his children, and oh yeah, I had a husband too." Yeah, there's no making that sound better. She went on to say that the couple ended up spending the night together despite the fact that they were both married. And she knew it was meant to be because when she woke up next to Dean the following day, she said she had no regrets. The two married and went on to have 4 children together before yet another cheating scandal rocked their relationship in 2013, this time with Dean and the nanny. Number 4. Kate Hudson and Owen Wilson. The Hollywood stars had a massive cheating scandal while filming the 2006 comedy You, Me and Dupree, most likely because Kate was married to rock musician Chris Robinson for 6 years when she met Owen. The actors had a wild affair that lasted only 6 months, but it was definitely long enough to ruin Kate's relationship with her husband forever. Amid the rumors of infidelity, the Black Crowes singer ended up filing for divorce from Hudson in November 2006, citing irreconcilable differences and seeking joint custody of their then 2-year-old son Ryder. A month after the film opened in July, Kate and Owen were confirmed to be officially dating. But the affair didn't seem to stack up to anything, as the couple's relationship was short-lived, and they broke up less than a year later. As the public started to turn against the actress, she countered the speculation by telling Harper's Bazaar that's not what happened. But looking back at the 2006 press tour, it was pretty obvious that something was happening between them, because it got kind of inappropriate. Owen asked her about wearing a bikini in the film and whether she and her husband have ever had a third wheel experience. Number 3. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. Many Hollywood romances have started on screen and bled into the real lives of the actors involved. The most iconic has to be that of Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall. The two engaged in a scandalous affair after meeting on the set of To Have and Have Not back in 1944. Bacall was only 19 when she first met Bogart, who was already an acclaimed Hollywood star and 25 years older than her. But that wasn't the only issue. At the time, Bogart was married to actress Mayo Methot, but their relationship was reportedly falling apart. Bacall confessed in her 1978 memoir that there was no clap of thunder or lightning bolt moment when she first laid eyes on him in 1943, but the actors became close on the set when she was nervous about the production and turned to her co-star for support. Just 3 weeks into filming, the pair shared their first kiss in her dressing room after a day of filming, and he asked her for her phone number, which she famously scribbled on the back of a matchbook. After that, they began meeting in secret places and using their on-screen names to disguise their identities. Bogart eventually divorced his wife in 1945 and married Bacall just 11 days later. Number 2. Sienna Miller and Daniel Craig. Scandal erupted in 2005 when Sienna Miller's confession of love to Daniel Craig was publicly broadcast to the world while she was still married to Jude Law. The two were co-stars in the 2005 2004 film Layer Cake with Sienna, and at some point the two got a little bit closer than they did on screen. But how did the news of the affair get out? Well, that's the tricky part. A journalist hacked Daniel's voicemail, retrieving a message that came from Sienna's phone number. Both parties tried to discredit the audio tape at first, but when the hearing took place for the hacking trial, it was proven to be authentic. Sienna tried to play it off and told the court that she always ended phone calls saying "I love you," insisting it wasn't some huge declaration of love. She denied that the message meant she was in a relationship with Daniel, but she did admit to the court that they were briefly involved. Jude reportedly learned of his wife's affair from the newspaper story and called Daniel to confront him because the two used to be close friends. Talk about messy. And coming in at number 1, Meg Ryan and Russell Crowe. In the 90s, Meg Ryan had a squeaky clean image thanks to her role as a leading lady in many rom-coms like When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle. But her reputation took a huge hit when it emerged that she cheated on her then husband, Dennis Quaid, with her co-star Russell Crowe. Meg and Dennis had been married for 9 years and already shared a son together when she met Russell on the set of the 2000 thriller Proof of Life, and the pair had instant chemistry. But the affair reportedly caused awkwardness amongst the cast and crew, as the actress didn't even appear on the press tour because she was so worried that they would be asking her about it. In fact, the film's director, Taylor Hackford, blamed the cheating scandal for the film being a flop at the box office. Meg was publicly shamed, especially after she and Dennis officially announced their separation, because it allegedly put too much strain on their marriage. When she began dating her co-star, it really changed the public's perception of her as the quirky rom-com lead. In fact, she told The Guardian in 2003, quote, "I was all over the tabloids and I walked through the lobby and the place stopped. People stopped talking and stared at me." Goes to show you how sensational the affair was at the time.
Number 10, Tom Sandoval. Vanderpump Rules stars Tom Sandoval made headlines when accusations that he cheated on his longtime girlfriend Ariana Madix with their co-star Raquel Levy. Well, news of the Tom Tom restaurant co-owner's affair with Levy's broke on March 3rd. Sources told People that the affair had been going on for 6 months, leaving Madix blindsided and devastated by the revelation. In a clip from season 10's finale of Vanderpump Rules, Madix explained to friends Katie Maloney and Shani Shea how she found out about her boyfriend of 9 years, Sandoval, cheating on her with their co-star, while also revealing that the affair had been going on for several months rather than 6. Sandoval and Lee have respectively issued statements acknowledging the allegations within the week the cheating news broke. Both have opened up on the months-long affair and have apologized since. Number 9, Ariana Grande. The pop star is set to star in a film adaptation of the Broadway hit Wicked, following the story of the Wicked Witch before the events of The Wizard of Oz. Ariana Grande plays Glinda the Good and Ethan Slater is Buck, the main love interest of the Wicked Witch. It's ironic that Ariana is the Good Witch though, as she appears to have stolen another woman's man. Ethan was married to a woman named Lily J since 2018, and they actually welcomed their first child in 2022. Apparently, Ariana and Ethan fell in love on set of Wicked and started dating behind the scenes. However, an on-set insider shared that information with Slater's wife, who was, furious. While the couple have agreed to raise their child as co-parents, Ethan officially filed for a divorce in July of this year and is still with Ariana so far as we know. Number 8, Natalie Portman. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that Thor: Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband, Benjamin Millipede, will be separating following a very public and messy affair on Ben's part. Ben, who I assume is named after a kid's cartoon, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist. While Portman was mad, she initially tried to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage, but the affair put a massive strain on the relationship. The couple had met on the set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, with Ben acting as a scriptwriter for the project. While the affair has shaken their relationship, when asked about the issues by US Weekly, he said that he shares her pain and that he is still working on a new script for her. So they still work together professionally, but emotionally, they've checked out. Number 7, MGK. When the couple, who announced their engagement last January, sparked rumors of a split after 3 years together, Megan posted a series of pictures on Instagram with a pointed caption from Beyonce's Lemonade album, which, if you didn't know, is all about infidelity. On top of this, she deleted every trace of MGK from her Instagram page and unfollowed him. In fact, she raised eyebrows by unfollowing everyone except for Harry Styles, Timothée Chalamet, and notably MGK's long-standing nemesis, Eminem. It wasn't surprising that Megan's usual behavior prompted people to speculate that herself and MGK might have called it quits after he was found cheating. Megan topped off the weekend's events by proceeding to deactivate her entire Instagram account. By February 13th, a source informed people that the two had not called things off, but claimed that Megan had apparently gone as far as removing her engagement ring, which, FYI, is specifically designed to cause pain when she does that. Apparently the band has little spikes on it that jam into her finger if she pulls it off. That's fun. The final reports claimed that they had gotten into a spat, but that it got blown out of proportion. Megan publicly defended MGK's guitarist Sophie Lloyd online, who was the alleged mistress in the situation, but there seems to be no proof that anything ever took place, and the couple are currently working through their issues and things seem to have turned around for the better. Number 6, Steve Harvey. Steve was trending on Twitter for quite a while thanks to a couple of situations, one that actually happened and one that never happened. He seemingly fired his social media manager over a negative tweet regarding comedians and is now having to hear rumors about his wife Marjorie Bridges cheating on him. Harvey, who is 66, shared a video suggesting that he fired his social media manager after they posted a tweet urging followers to name a comedian that does not make them laugh. Steve posted a video explaining the situation and claimed that wasn't his style and it wasn't going to happen again. The morning following that post, rumors started circulating that his wife Marjorie is seeking a divorce. According to the internet, she was caught having an affair with the chief and bodyguard. But fun fact, that didn't happen, and the internet just really wanted Steve to have been cheated on for some reason when he is one of the best people on the planet who constantly shares his past with people to inspire and give hope. So, Steve, if you're somehow watching this, first of all, why? Second of all, you are a legend and 100% no cheating in your life. So, sorry if you hoped for more. Number 5, P. Diddy. The rap star Young Miami confirmed that she and Mr. Sean Combs, P. Diddy, are no longer together. The couple went public with their relationship in June of last year, but let everybody know that it wasn't exclusive. They said that at one point they were together every day of the week and basically lived together, letting the internet call it whatever they wanted. To double down on the claim, anytime that they've been asked if they're official, they must list the people they've been with outside of each other, like they're all alibis in a court case or something. This past year, the world was shocked when Sean welcomed his 7th child into the world with a woman named Dana Tran, while the pair had decided to keep things private. Apparently, this wasn't part of the deal. Miami has made it very clear that Sean is no longer a man in her life in any way, shape, or form. So, while Sean is stuck raising another baby and apparently dealing with some pretty harsh rumors right now, Miami will be sipping poolside, surrounded by her lovers. I feel bad for whoever has to clean that pool. Number 4, Avril Lavigne. This year's shocking reports hit the internet claiming Avril Lavigne had called off her engagement to Mod's son. TMZ's insiders claim that things had been on and off for a while as the couple tried to mend their romance, but then when they got in touch with the Karma Singers team, a rep declared that the last thing he heard was the couple had been engaged, and that was only 3 days prior, so anything else would be news to him. Avril had been spotted out and about with a man named Tyga, who she claims is just a friend, but the internet likes to gossip, so the headlines were Avril cheats on Mod's son. A week after his tour started and the news broke, he posted a series of photos on his Instagram making references to a broken heart and knowing there is a plan for everyone. He thanked his fans and then went dark. Since then, the two have been drenched in rumors, but the only thing that has been confirmed is they now reside in Splitsville. Number 3, Jesse Rutherford. When the news first broke of Billie Eilish and Jesse getting together, the internet drowned them in negative comments, calling to question why she was dating someone 10 years older than herself. To poke fun at this, the couple dressed as a baby and an elderly man on their first Halloween together, the type of thing that would become the norm in their lives. The couple were always spotted wearing matching clothes or outlandish outfits, even making their red carpet debut while wearing matching Gucci pajamas at the 11th annual LACMA Art and Film Gala. The couple were also known for their very public displays of affection. The PDA and inside jokes were the foundations of this relationship, and they seemed happy together until this past May, when the news broke the pair would be splitting up. Claiming it to be a mutual decision, it was later speculated that the split was due to Jesse getting busy behind Billie's back. Whether that spark just fizzled out or something darker has taken place, Jesse and Billie will be fine, and they'll find new people soon. So, look at that. Just look at these two side by side. They are goth king and queen. This man's eye tattoo is staring at me. Number 2, Lily Reinhart. Cole Sprouse and Lily met on the set of Riverdale in 2016 while filming the pilot episode for the series that finally ended after being the most confusing series of all time. I had to stop after season 3 because everyone started playing D&D and Stranger Things came out, so there you go. Anyway, they fell in love playing Jughead and Betty, having a relationship that lasted like 7 years, but in 2020, started to go downhill. They were plagued by cheating rumors. Things had apparently become heavy behind the scenes, according to Cole. Towards the end of that year, they confirmed the split online. However, this year, Cole spoke out about the breakup while having a cancer stick in the middle of an interview, claiming that he didn't want to get too deep into the topic, but that it was a mutual decision. Lily began receiving violent and threatening messages following the interview, as well as the end of the show. The past few weeks, rumors have been arising once more, and fans are becoming online detectives again to uncover the truth. And at number 1, Sebastian Leggett. This year, Becky G hit the 2023 iHeartRadio Awards red carpet without her engagement ring on. She attended the ceremony, at which she took home the award for Best Latin Pop Song of the Year for her and Karol G's collaboration Mammy. On Tuesday, March 27th, the same day her fiancé, Sebastian Leggett, seemingly confessed that he cheated on his girlfriend of 6 years on Instagram. He posted that over the previous few weeks, during a moment he deeply regretted, a 10-minute lap in judgment resulted in an extortion plot. The 30-year-old soccer player shared the information on his Instagram after a fan claimed to have proof that he was unfaithful to Becky G. The fan was claiming that Seb had a tryst with a woman while out at a club in Madrid last year. They allegedly had receipts of the affair, including videos, audio, text, and so much more. The relationship seems to have crumbled, with the latest being Becky is single and Sebastian is trying to figure out incognito mode on his phone.
Number 10, Ariana Grande. The pop star and Broadway giant is set to star in a film adaptation of the Broadway hit Wicked, following the story of the Wicked Witch before the events of The Wizard of Oz. Ariana Grande plays Glinda the Good Witch, and Ethan Slater is Bok, the main love interest of the Wicked Witch. It's ironic that Ariana is the Good Witch though, as she appears to have stolen another woman's man. Ethan Slater was married to a woman named Lily J since 2018, and the pair even welcomed their first child in 2022. Apparently, Ariana and Ethan fell in love on set, and they started dating behind the scenes. However, on set, an insider shared info into Ethan Slater's wife, who was apparently furious. While the couple have agreed to raise their child as co-parents, Ethan officially filed for divorce in July of this year. Number 9, Tom Sandoval. Vanderpump Rules star Tom Sandoval made headlines when accusations that he cheated on his longtime girlfriend Ariana Madix with their co-star Raquel Leviss. While news of the Tom Tom restaurant's co-owner's affair with Leviss broke on March 3rd, sources told People magazine that the affair had been going on for 6 months, leaving Madix blindsided and devastated by the revelation. In a clip from the season 10 finale of Vanderpump Rules, Madix explained to friends Katie Maloney and Shiana Shea about how she found out her boyfriend of 9 years, Tom Sandoval, was cheating on her with their co-star, while also revealing that the affair had been going on for 7 months, rather than 6. Sandoval and Leviss have respectively issued statements acknowledging the allegations within the week that the cheating news broke. Both have now opened up on the months-long affair and have apologized since. Number 8, Lily Reinhart. Cole Sprouse and Lily met on the set of Riverdale in 2016 while filming the pilot episode for the series that finally ended after being the most confusing series of all time. I mean, I had to stop after season 3 because they started getting into D&D, and that's a Stranger Things game. Anyway, they fell in love playing Jughead and Betty, having a relationship that lasted almost 7 years. Somewhere around 2020, things started to go downhill and they were plagued by cheating rumors, and things had apparently become heavy behind the scenes, according to Cole. Towards the end of that year, they confirmed the split online, but this year, Cole spoke out about the breakup while having a cancer stick in the middle of an interview, claiming he didn't want to get too deep into the topic, that it was a mutual decision. Unfortunately, Lily began receiving violent and threatening messages following the interview, as well as at the end of the show. This past week, the rumors arose once more, and fans are becoming online detectives once again to uncover the truth. Number 7, Natalie Portman. After 11 years of marriage, it was recently announced that Thor Love and Thunder star Natalie Portman and her husband Benjamin Millipede will be separating following a very public and messy affair on Benny's part. Ben, who I assume is named after a kid's cartoon, was spotted with a 25-year-old climate activist, and while Natalie Portman was mad, she initially tried to work things out with Ben in an attempt to save their marriage, but the affair put a massive strain on their relationship. The couple had met on the set of the 2009 drama Black Swan, with Ben acting as a scriptwriter for the project. While the affair has shaken up their relationship, when asked about the issues by Us Weekly, he said that he shared her pain and that he was sending her a new script. While they might be working together again professionally, emotionally, they have completely checked out. Number 6, MGK. On February 11th, the couple announced their engagement last January, and then there were rumors of a breakup after they had 3 years together. Megan posted a series of pictures on Instagram with a pointed caption from Beyonce's Lemonade album, which, if you didn't know, is all about infidelity. On top of this, she deleted every trace of MGK from her Instagram page and unfollowed him. In fact, she raised raised eyebrows by unfollowing literally everyone except Harry Styles, Timothée Chalamet, and notably MGK's long-standing nemesis Eminem. It wasn't surprising that Megan's unusual behavior prompted people to speculate that she and MGK had called it quits after she'd found him cheating. Megan topped off the weekend's events by proceeding to deactivate her entire Instagram account. By February 13th, a source informed People magazine that the two of them hadn't quite called off their relationship, but they claimed that Megan had apparently gone as far as to remove her engagement ring, which FYI was specifically designed to cause pain whenever she takes it off. Apparently the band is embedded with little diamond spikes that jam into her finger when she tries to pull it off. The final report claims that they had gotten into a spat, but that it had been blown way out of proportion. Then Megan publicly defended MGK's guitarist Sophie Lloyd online, who was the alleged mistress in this situation. But there seems to be no proof that anything physical ever took place, and the couple are currently working through their issues, but you never know what could happen in this wild world of Hollywood. Number 5, Sebastian Ledgett. This year, Becky G hit the 2023 iHeartRadio music carpet without her engagement ring. She attended the ceremony at which she took home the award for Best Latin Pop Song of the Year for her and Karol G's music collab Mommy. On Tuesday, March 27th, the same day her fiancé Sebastian seemingly confessed that he cheated on his girlfriend of 6 years via Instagram. He posted that over the previous weeks, during a moment that he deeply regrets, a 10-minute lapse in judgment resulted in an extortion plot. The 30-year-old soccer player shared the info on his Instagram after a fan claimed to have proof that he was unfaithful to Becky G. The fan claimed that he had a tryst with a woman while he was out in a club in Madrid last year, and they allegedly had receipts of this affair, including video, audio, texts, and more. Their relationship seems to have crumbled, with the latest information being that Becky G is single, whereas Sebastian is trying to figure out incognito mode on his phone. Number 4, Steve Harvey. Now, Steve is trending on Twitter at the moment for two situations, one that actually happened and one that's been rumored. He seemingly fired his social media manager over a negative tweet regarding comedians and is now having to hear rumors about his wife Marjorie Bridges cheating on him. That's right, Harvey shared a video on Friday night suggesting that he fired his social media manager after they posted a tweet urging followers to name a comedian that does not make them laugh. Steve posted a video explaining the situation and claimed that that was not his style and it was not going to happen again. The morning following the post, rumors started circulating that his wife Marjorie would be seeking a divorce. According to the internet, she was caught having an affair with their chef and their bodyguard. So far, there is very little proof that any of these claims are actually legit. In fact, Steve himself has denied anything of the sort taking place. Friends and family of the couple have also claimed that they have been in contact and they have been told that there is nothing but happiness in their household. So this one is still a rumor at the moment, but this is a so far list and who knows what will be in the news in the near future. Number 3, P. Diddy. The rap star Young Miami confirmed that she and Mr. Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, are no longer together. The couple went public with their relationship in June last year, but they let everyone know that it wasn't exclusive. They said at one point that they were together every day of the week, basically living together and letting the internet call it whatever they wanted. To double down on the claim, anytime they've been asked if they are official, they must list the people that they've been with outside of each other. Like these are all alibis in a court case or something. This past year, the world was shocked when Sean welcomed his 7th child into the world with a woman named Dana Tran. While the pair had decided to keep things private, apparently this was not part of the deal, and Miami has since made it clear that Sean is no longer her man in any way, shape, or form. So while Sean is stuck raising another baby, Miami will be sipping poolside surrounded by her lovers, and I feel bad for whoever cleans that pool. Number 2, Avril Lavigne. This year, shocking reports had hit the internet claiming that Avril Lavigne had called off her engagement to Mod. TMZ insiders claim that things had been on and off for a while as the couple tried to mend their romance, but then they got in touch with the Karma Singers team, and a rep declared that the last thing he heard from the couple was that they were engaged, and that was only 3 days prior, so anything else would be news to him. Avril had been spotted out and about with a man named Tiger, who she claims is just a friend. But the internet loves to gossip, so the headlines were that Avril was cheating on Mod's son. 1 week after his tour started and the news broke, he posted a series of photos on his Instagram, making references to a broken heart and knowing that there is a plan for everyone. He thanked his fans and went dark. Since then, the two of them have been drenched in rumors, and the only thing that has been confirmed is that these two now reside in Splitsville. And coming in at number 1, Jesse Rutherford. When the news first broke of Billie Eilish and Jesse Rutherford getting together, the internet drowned them in negative comments calling to question why she was dating someone 10 years older. They also poked fun at this couple who dressed up as a baby and an elderly man on their first ever Halloween together. This is the type of thing that would become the norm in their lives. The couple were always spotted wearing matching clothes or outlandish outfits, even making their red carpet debut while wearing Matchy Gucci pajamas at the Art and Film Gala. The couple couple were also known for their very public displays of affection, over-the-top PDA, and inside jokes were the foundation of their relationship. And they seemed very happy together until this past May, when news broke that the pair would be splitting up, claiming that it was a mutual decision. But it was later speculated that the split was due to Jesse getting busy behind Billy's back. Whether the spark just fizzled out or something darker took place, Jesse and Billy will be fine and find new people soon. I mean, just look at these two side by side, they are goth king and queen.
Number 10, Scott Disick. A cheating scandal involving keeping up with the Kardashians? Whoa, how unheard of! Scott has had his claws dug into the Kardashian family for over a decade, despite his constant bad decision making and partying lifestyle. He appeared as Kourtney's boyfriend on the series premiere of the family reality series and has been a chaotic bad in their lives ever since. In season 2, Kourtney confronts Scott for the first time following the revelation of a series of texts on his old cell phone to someone whose contact was listed as "my wife." This led to their first breakup and was the first instance of a public cheating being outed. Now, that wasn't the last one though. The couple would get back together and split over and over, and they even had 3 kids in the process. But Scott has a problem and he can't seem to keep his hands to himself. Literally months after the birth of his 3rd child, he was caught cheating on Kourtney with an ex in Costa Rica. Scott is still involved in the family unit to this day despite his serial cheating, but his presence on the show brings with it just a cloud of cringe. Number 9, Will Smith. Will Smith is a husband, father, and a professional smackmaster. In season 3, episode 12 of the reality TV show Red Table Talk, Jada Pinkett Smith invited her husband Will onto the show. During the interview, the topic of infidelity was brought up, and Will confronted Jada about an alleged relationship between herself and a singer named August Alsina during a brief separation between himself and Jada in 2015. Jada was taken back at first, but then went on to break down what really happened on her end. Following this episode, August went online and claimed that he had to have Will's blessing to be in the relationship, despite the pair technically being separated at that time. Now, Will never mentioned this, and Jada just denies that Will ever gave August permission. But when referring to the situation as an entanglement, Will kinda snapped and he made her correct herself to say the word relationship instead. Her show was eventually cancelled along with the rest of the Smith family. Yeah, you guys should have just kept your drama to yourselves. Number 8, Tristan Thompson. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson were happily together for quite some time until news of Tristan being seen kissing another woman was revealed on an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. It turns out that Tristan had been seen kissing a woman named Jordan Woods, who at the time was Kylie Jenner's best friend. Khloe's reaction to the event is intense. In clips from the episode, she is seen and heard yelling on a phone and claiming that the scandal had torn her family apart. Okay. Not long after that revelation, Khloe seemed to forgive Tristan, but not Jordan. But they both were equally to blame, so like why be nice to Tristan? They got back together only for him to cheat on her again 2 years later, and this time the evidence was clear because the woman that he had an affair with birthed his child. Kinda hard to forgive something like that for obvious reasons. They are no longer together, and they're probably better for it. Number 7, Stephen Bear. Celebrity Big Brother is a spin-off of the regular Big Brother reality show in which celebrities are forced to live in a massive air hangar full of furniture from the brick. They compete in various competitions and slowly vote each other out. It's literally a popularity contest. In one season, a celebrity named Stephen Bear, who has basically just been on reality shows, began a steamy fling with his fellow housemate Chloe Khan, who is a model. They were together on the show for 3 weeks until one night a little twist came through the door. A twist by the name of Lily Lexi Gregg, Bear's longtime girlfriend and famous fashion designer. She confronted him the moment she stepped into the house. She said she needed to look him in the eyes when she told him what he did to her. Bear looks stunned when she comes in, and it probably doesn't help that he has like a small stack of donuts on his head when she does. It's kind of funny. Lily and Bear were together for several months before he entered the Big Brother house, with Lily claiming that she literally walked him to the front door and had to go home to his family. After learning of the romance sparking in the house, she reached out to producers and she got herself a spot in the hangar. Following the confrontation, Bear dumped Lexi in front of the entire house and the entire world, claiming that the experience made him realize that he wanted to be single and explore possible relationships. Okay man, oldest excuse in the book, bud. Number 6, Lamar Odom. Lamar Odom is a former NBA pro and he was married to Khloe Kardashian in 2009. And it seems Khloe just can't catch a break. In a sneak peek of his new documentary presented by TMZ, Lamar shared the fact that there is still plenty the public doesn't know about his serial cheating during his relationship to Khloe. While married to Khloe, Odom would have a slew of random women come through the house, sometimes sometimes multiple people at once. He also admits to having full-blown relationships while he was traveling with the NBA. Chloe discovered that Lamar was trying to cover his tracks by using her assistant's phone to message women behind her back. This caused her to go full-blown detective mode. Herself and momager Kris Jenner decided to take matters into their own hands and followed Odom to a hotel where he was caught cheating for the first time. They caught him surrounded by several women while under the influence of heavy substances, and despite this, the relationship continued until 2013 when Chloe finally had enough and called it quits. Lamar has recently come forward calling his actions embarrassing and hopes to reconnect with Chloe in the near future, but he's also claimed to have been with over 2,000 women, so I don't know, maybe she should just steer clear of that one. Number 5. Ronnie Ortiz. Ronnie is one of the spray tan minions on the hit reality series The Jersey Shore. The series follows Snooki and her housemates in Jersey Shore. There's like not much to unpack there. Recently, a revival of the series premiered, now being called Jersey Shore Family Vacation. During one episode of the show, Ronnie was seen cuddling and kissing a lady in a hot tub. Oh, what's wrong with this? Well, his pregnant wife was nowhere to be found. Ronnie admitted in a talking head that it was hard having kids on the way and being with someone that you're not sure you should be with. According to him, women were coming up to him constantly, and he was sick of denying them the goods. He akined it to being in one of those money machines, and it's on, but you just keep your hands in your pocket when it starts. Several cast members confronted Ronnie on his behavior, and the footage was shared with his wife Jen. Following this, Ronnie went on air and professed his love for a former girlfriend, not even the girl he was with, from 10 years ago. Snooki even spoke up and told him to move on. Like, that's crazy. As of now, Jen and Ronnie are still together. Here's hoping Jen doesn't want another kid though. Who knows what he'll do now? Number 4. Jax Taylor. In season 1 of the show Vanderpump Rules, Jax Taylor and Stacey Schroeder had a rocky relationship. And the whole thing was documented for us all to enjoy. The allegations of him having an affair with fellow castmate Kristen Doubt, the suspicions grew following Kristen's casual acceptance of Jack's history of cheating. She was Stacey's best friend and confronted the pair on several occasions. Both denied the hookup ever taking place until Stacey was finally able to get Jax to confess live on air. The confrontation created one of the most iconic moments in the Vanderpump Rules history. While Kristen kept denying the entanglement, Jax owned up to his actions and provided details for Stacey and a man named Tom Sandoval who was also dating Kristen at the time. That's right, 2 cheaters for the price of 1. After Stacey was pushed to the brink, she began a physical altercation with Kristen, and when things eventually simmered, Kristen finally admitted the truth and apologized for her mistake. The friendship with Stacey was damaged, but she was thankful to finally know the truth. She no cray cray. Number 3. Kelsey Grammer. You may recognize Kelsey Grammer as Frasier from the hit sitcom of the same name, but to fans of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, he's the one who cheated on Camille. Real Housewife Camille Grammer accused her husband of cheating with Kate Walsh, who's now his wife. The accusation came on season 1 of the show, and it chronicled their quickly declining love life. Kelsey recalls an instance when he had just recovered from a heart attack and suddenly his mother died. Instead of consoling her husband, Camille yelled at him on the day of her funeral and told him that she wanted a divorce, a conversation they had apparently had several times. The truth was Kelsey did cheat on his wife, as only 2 months following his official divorce from Camille, he married Kate Walsh, and they're still together to this day. In this case, it sounds like cheating got Kelsey out of a rough relationship. Number 2. Dean McDermott. Tori Spelling made a name for herself in the acting world when she portrayed Donna Martin on the show 90210. She met Dean McDermott on the set of Lifetime's Mind Over Murder in 2005, a year after she had married her first husband, Charlie Sheeneen. Dean was also married when they met and had been for about 10 years. He recounts falling hard for Spelling when they met. Then he noticed her wedding ring. Both parties had been unhappy in their marriages, and while their flirting at first had no intention behind it, they eventually woke up together in a room at the Cartier Palace and had no regrets. Well, maybe not yet. In 2013, after welcoming their second son into the world, Us Weekly announced that McDermott had been unfaithful to Tori during her pregnancy. The couple aired out their grievances on Tori's reality show True Tori. However, this scandal only brought them closer together. They began doing couples counseling and have learned to communicate more openly. As of 2023, they seem to be going on strong with 0 incidents of infidelity taking place since. Number 1. Hugh Grant. Hugh got caught cheating in the most public way possible. In 1995, he was arrested after he was caught getting down with a lady of the night in public. Not only is that rough, but he was dating actress and model Elizabeth Hurley at the time. At first, Elizabeth kept quiet and refused to comment until 2 months following his arrest. She went on record saying that she felt like she had gotten shot when she heard what he had done. The night lady, Divine Brown, was hounded by the press over and over for her side of the story, with one outlet even paying her $100,000 for her side. Brown was eventually sentenced for 180 days in jail due to a violation of her probation, while Grant was made to pay a $1,000 fine and attend an education program for medical stuff. During an interview with Jay Leno, Grant went on record claiming that he did abominable things and Liz was amazing about it. Despite what many news outlets were reporting, Elizabeth was very supportive of Grant and the couple tried to work things out. But unfortunately, they officially called it quits in 2000 and now Hugh Grant is a villain for some reason. He's a bad guy in every movie now. Number 10, Will Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he plays a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and throws his plans for a loop. The timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we know now that Will and his wife Jada were taking a break at that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, weird way to phrase that, and for Will, this meant himself and Robbie were free to rehearse their scenes in private. It was confirmed that Margot and Will were seeing each other during production of Focus, and his wife was not happy about that. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada. So apparently she only married Will because she became pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move to make, which is always a great way to start a marriage. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she has held a grudge towards Margot for 8 years with no signs of it stopping. Will and Jada are still together, but we can all agree that their relationship is the Hindenburg and somebody is gonna light a match. If you don't know what the Hindenburg is, just Google it. Number 9, Kristen Stewart. His skin was pale and cold, and that is how Kristen likes them. As many of us know, Kristen Stewart starred as Bella Swan in the film adaptation of the Twilight book series. She co-starred with Hollywood hunk Robert Pattinson as her love interest / vampire, Edward Cullen. The on-set chemistry spilled into their real lives after it was announced that the two were a couple and the world stood still. These two together, a match made in heaven. How much more perfect could it be? Well, turns out it could only be worse. Photos of Kristen kissing a man named Rupert Sanders were published by Us Weekly. Sanders is a director and had been working with Stewart on his upcoming project Snow White and the Huntsman. Not only did Kristen cheat on Robert, but Sanders was married to a model and actress Liberty Ross at that time, so he cheated too. She rightfully filed for a divorce in 2013 and has since gone on to marry Interscope co-founder Jimmy Levine. While Stewart's love life has been much better, as she's currently engaged to fellow actor and screenwriter Dylan Meyer, who she met on the set of a film in 2013. Oh, that's so cute. Number 8, Brad Pitt. Brangelina took Hollywood by storm, and when they began their relationship in the late 2000s. What many may not know is that this iconic couple were bred from a disastrous breakup between himself and Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer, best known by me for her role in the 1993 comedy classic Leprechaun alongside Warwick Davis, was actually married to Brad in 2000 after already being together for 2 years. They spent $1 million on their wedding ceremony, which took place in Malibu, and everything seemed to be going well until around 2005, when the couple announced to People magazine that they were going to be getting a divorce. Around the same time, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie were working on the film Mr. and Mrs. Smith together. Rumors began to fly, and Brangelina was born. The couple officially announced their relationship a few months following the divorce from Aniston. They were married in 2014, but unfortunately Brangelina also filed for a divorce 2 years later. The relationship was a flop, but they adopted a bunch of kids and now they have a decent life, so I guess that's something. Number 7, Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell. Glenn and Sydney will be sharing a spot on this list as the situations they put themselves in are very similar. You may know Glenn from his role in the recent Top Gun sequel Maverick, and you will recognize Sydney from the hit HBO series Euphoria. These two began filming a rom-com together in Australia earlier this year, and it turns out they got along really well. After being cast to play romantic interests in the film, the two spent so much time together that it would seem their chemistry had blossomed into a full-fledged romance. For a few months, photos of the pair kissing and cuddling both on and off set have been circulating online, and they're adorable. They seem to have a genuine connection instead of some PR forced relationship. It sucks though because they were both seeing someone when they met. Powell has been in a relationship with a woman named Gigi Paris, who is a model, for 3 years, and Sweeney was engaged to a very famous businessman named Jonathan Davino, who she had been dating for 4 years. years. When they met on set, it was like they stepped into another dimension and their partners didn't exist anymore, so they were free to be whoever they wanted. Of course, photos and rumors began swirling, and in April of this year, Gigi officially announced the end of her relationship to Powell after she discovered the rumors were true and they were in fact a couple. While they may have destroyed their already existing relationships, a new celebrity rom-com couple is sure to rise from their ashes. Number 6. Lindsay Lohan. This one hits home for me as I grew up with a sister around the time that this happened, and she was not having it. Aaron Carter is a musician who was very popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. In 2001, he started dating fellow pop star Hilary Duff, who had just broken onto the small screen with her much-loved comedy series Lizzie McGuire as the titular Lizzie. The couple were together for 2 years until Aaron suddenly decided that he wanted to date Freaky Friday star Lindsay Lohan at the same time as Hilary. Aaron eventually broke up with both girls by the end of 2003, but he accidentally started a feud that appears to have lasted to this day. While both were obviously mad at Aaron for his part, the young love made them mortal enemies. When Lohan hosted SNL in 2004, she made fun of Hilary on air by getting character actor Rachel Dratch to portray Duff during the cold open of the show. Aaron recently attempted to reach out to both Lindsay and Hilary, but he was denied. Rejected, yeah, you just got rejected. Okay, that's a Zoe 101 reference, but I'm just feeling nostalgic today. It doesn't have to do with Lindsay. Number 5. Kenneth Branagh. You may recognize Kenneth as the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher and the liar from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Gilderoy Lockhart. He met Miss Emma Thompson, the lead of Love Actually, in 1987 while filming the BBC series Fortunes of War, and they were married 2 years later. They were once the most A-list celebrity couple in England's history, collaborating several times during their marriage. Kenneth directed Emma in a long list of projects over the years, but by 1994, their romance hit a major pothole. While filming his movie adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, Branagh began a secret relationship, aka an affair, with Helena Bonham Carter, who had previously worked with Emma Thompson in 1992's Howard's End. At the time of the breakup, Kenneth and Emma expressed to the public that they would be splitting simply due to their busy work schedules, but it later emerged that the split was due to Emma having knowledge of the affair, and in 2016, she revealed exactly how her husband's infidelity affected her. She took this moment and used it to inspire her character's story in Love Actually, which has gone on to be one of her best performances to date. After breaking it off with Thompson, Branagh began dating Bonham Carter until 1999. Kenneth later got married to Lindsay Brunnock. Thompson married actor Greg Weiss in 2003, and Helena Bonham Carter moved on to the king of the macabre, Tim Burton, and had 2 kids with him before calling it quits in 2014, meaning that she is single and ready to mingle. Number 4. Chad Michael Murray. Many will recognize Chad as the co-star of several rom-coms from the early 2000s, most notably starring alongside Hilary Duff in 2004's A Cinderella Story, which is one of the most underrated movies of all time, by the way, just check it out if you haven't. Chad met a woman named Sophia Bush on set of the series One Tree Hill, in which they play a couple with an on-again, off-again relationship. It turns out their real-life relationship would be just as rocky. The couple actually got married in April of 2005, but ultimately split up only 5 months later. The breakup followed a massive slew of rumors that Michael Murray had an affair with his House of Wax co-star Paris Hilton, and those rumors later were proven to be true. Paris had been dating Backstreet Boy Nick Carter for a few months when those rumors began to circulate, and he later revealed that his brother Aaron was actually the one that found out about Hilton cheating and told his brother what happened. Paris and Murray were never actually a couple, just the reason for several breaking up. Unfortunately, Bush and Murray had to continue working together on One Tree Hill following the split. Oh wow, that must have been just so much fun. Number 3. Debbie Reynolds. A bit of an older entry on this list. We need to address it though. Debbie Reynolds is a well-known Hollywood icon who ran the show during her time on the silver screen. Our younger audiences will recognize her as Grandma Aggie from the Halloween Town series. She appeared in various films over the 60s and 70s, including some alongside her then husband, one Eddie Fisher. Eddie and Debbie were Eddie and Debbie, it rhymes, it's cute. Eddie and Debbie were Hollywood royalty during their marriage. Debbie's friend Elizabeth Taylor was also a Hollywood icon at the time, being the lead lady in films like Cleopatra and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, which is an aggressive title. When Taylor married her third husband, Mike Todd, Debbie was the maid of honor, and Eddie was Todd's best man. Not long after the wedding, Mike passed away in a plane crash, and Debbie and Eddie were there to comfort her. It appeared that Eddie got a little too comfy though, as himself and Debbie split only a few months later due to an alleged affair that Eddie had had with Liz. After the split, Eddie and Taylor were married only to get divorced after 1 year. The feud between Taylor and Reynolds was strong until they reconciled in the early 2000s and even made a TV movie together called These Old Broads. Oh, check it out. Number 2, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan was the rom-com queen of the 90s. She starred in Hollywood hits like When Harry Met Sally alongside Billy Crystal, You've Got Mail with Tom Hanks, and Sleepless in Seattle, again with Tom Hanks. You may be thinking, is Tom the man that she cheated with? Well, no, it was actually Russell Crowe. Russell and Megan were in Ecuador shooting their film Proof of Life when tabloids discovered that Ryan was cheating on her then husband of 9 years, Dennis Quaid, with Crowe. The news of the affair broke and spread around the world. Dennis quickly filed for divorce. Meg fought back hard against the allegations that the divorce was entirely her fault, as she claims that Dennis was unfaithful to her multiple times during their relationship. While Meg and Crowe ended up calling it quits not long after they got together, the film that brought them closer in the first place bombed hard at the box office, proving that bad press isn't always good press. And at number 1, Jack Nicholson. Here's Johnny! Jack Nicholson is surely burned into your memory in some way, shape, or form. His turn as the Joker lives rent-free in my skull 24/7. From 1973 to 1990, Jack had an on-again, off-again relationship with Angelica Houston, who you may know as Morticia Addams in the Addams Family movies, or perhaps her role as the head witch in the movie Witches. The relationship finally ended for good after Angelica discovered that Jack was expecting a child with Rebecca Broussard, whom he would go on to star with in several projects. According to Angelica herself, she confronted Jack on set following the news, essentially cornering him in a bathroom so that he wouldn't be able to get away from her. She wailed on Nicholson left and right, and she's quoted as claiming that there was no kicking, but the rest of the altercation made her feel like she was going up against a prize fighter. Jack was apparently very quick on his feet though, dodging shots left and right, and eventually Angelica stormed off in a huff. Nicholson was only married to Rebecca for 4 years before they officially called it quits in 1994. Well, hopefully it was worth the savage beatdown brought upon by Angelica Houston. Number 10, Joe Alwyn. Joe Alwyn made his big screen debut playing the titular character in Ang Lee's 2016 drama Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. The film tells the story of Billy, a private in the military who returns home and is praised as a hero, but through a series of flashbacks we learn what really happened during his time away from home. The movie received critical acclaim and Joe's career was kicked off. He co-starred in several other projects since then, but made paparazzi front page after rumors of his supposed cheating on Taylor Swift. Joe and Taylor spent 6 years together before calling it quits. With this being one of her longest relationships to date, we had to wonder what split them up. Rumor has it that they broke up because Joe was cheating on Taylor with his co-star of The Brutalist, Emma Laird. Emma posted a photo on Instagram with the caption "Moments in March" and just a little heart emoji. While there were plenty of pics in the album, the one that stuck out was the photo of Joe appearing to hop on a little electric scooter. No Taylor in sight and no explanation as to why they were together. The reaction from Swifties was so strong that Emma literally had to turn her comments off. Since news broke of the split between Alwyn and Swift, Emma has been spotted comforting Joe, only adding more fuel to the rumor fire. Number 9, Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney. Glenn and Sydney will be sharing a spot on this list as the situations they've put themselves in are pretty similar. You may know Glenn from his role in the recent Top Gun sequel Maverick, and you will recognize Sydney from the hit HBO series Euphoria. These two began filming a rom-com together in Australia earlier this year, and it turns out they got along really well. After being cast to play romantic interests in the film, the two spent so much time together that it would seem their chemistry had blossomed into a full-fledged romance. For a few months, photos of the pair kissing and cuddling both on and off set have been circulating online, and honestly, they're really cute together and they seem to have a genuine connection instead of some like PR forced relationship because they're in a movie together. Now that's too bad though, considering that they were both seeing someone before they met. Powell had been in a relationship with a woman named Gigi Paris for 3 years, and Sweeney was engaged to a businessman named Jonathan Davino, who she had been dating for 4 years. When they met on set, it was like they stepped into another dimension where their partners just didn't exist and they were free to be whoever they wanted to be. Of course, photos and rumors began swirling, and in April of this year, Gigi officially announced the end of her relationship to Powell after she discovered the rumors were true and they were in fact a couple. While they may have destroyed their already existing relationships, a new one is surely to rise from the ashes. Number 8, Liam Payne. You may recognize Liam as one of the fresh faces from the boy band One Direction. Although the band split up, each member has had their fair share of success, with Harry Styles and Zayn Malik being the most successful of the bunch. Unfortunately for Liam, his fanbase is still highly active active, and they don't seem to have a full grasp on the concept of tagging people in posts. Recently, a fan page posted a pic of Liam with his arms wrapped around a woman and the caption, "Liam and Maya look so cute here." Maya is of course in reference to Maya Henry, a Victoria's Secret model and Liam's fiance at the time. Interestingly though, the woman in the photo was not Maya. In fact, Maya herself commented on the page that she loves the fans and appreciates their support, but please stop sending her photos of her fiance with his arms wrapped around another woman. Just hours after the photo was posted, the hashtag Liam Payne cheating was trending online. Finding out someone is cheating on you is hard enough, but having to learn that information via an Instagram post is beyond brutal. Maya decided to end the engagement with Liam to let him do whatever he was gonna do. Number 7. Will Smith. In 2015, Will Smith starred in a film called Focus, in which he plays a con man in the midst of his latest scheme when a woman from his past, played by Margot Robbie, arrives and throws his plan for a loop. The timing of this film being made could not have been more perfect, as we now know that Will and his wife Jada were taking a break at that time. For Jada, this meant an entanglement with August Alsina, and for Will, this meant himself and Robbie were free to rehearse their scenes in private. It was confirmed that Margot and Will were seeing each other during production of Focus, and his wife was not happy about it. Despite being legally married in 1997, the institutionalized concept of tying the knot just never really sat with Jada, so apparently she only married Will because she became pregnant with Jaden and felt that it was the right move. Yeah, that's always a healthy way to start a marriage. Force. While Jada herself is also a cheater and has publicly admitted it, she has held a grudge towards Margot for 8 years with no signs of it stopping. Will and Jada are still together, but we can all agree that that relationship is the Titanic and there is an iceberg dead ahead. Number 6. Ashton Kutcher. In case that didn't unlock the MTV vault that is surely hidden deep within your memory, allow me to enlighten you. Ashton rose to fame following his successful role on the hit sitcom That 70s Show, as well as his time hosting the MTV prank series Punk'd. He married fellow actor Miss Demi Moore in 2005 and stayed married for nearly 8 years. The split seemed to come from nowhere. There was some speculation that Ashton ended things to be with his current wife Mila Kunis, but that speculation was revealed to be complete bull poo-poo. In Demi's book titled Inside Out, she revealed that the cause of the split was actually due to Ashton's infidelity. Apparently, he cheated on her multiple times and pressured her into including a third party in their escapades. When Ashton found out about this news becoming public, he was royally upset. According to Ashton himself, he had finally gotten to a place where the media was leaving him and his family alone, and literally the next day following this news, paparazzi were waiting for him outside of his kid's school. Not only did his cheating ruin his relationship with Demi, but now it may be the cause of another separation between himself and Mila. Number 5. Tristan Thompson. Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson are two names you've certainly heard before when talking about famous breakups. The reality star and the basketball player first got together in 2016, and the media quickly began chronicling their romance. They were together for 2 long years, even having a child together during that time. The pair seemed to be in a healthy relationship, with Khloe constantly posting pictures of them together around the world. In 2018, video was leaked online of Tristan touching and kissing 2 women that were not Khloe. Despite the hard evidence of his misdeeds, Khloe ultimately chose to stay with Tristan and allow him to father their child properly. 10 months following the leak, the couple officially split after countless more accusations of infidelity arose. Khloe would get back together with Tristan one more time a year later, but the current status of these two are co-parents and nothing more. Not only did Tristan ruin his relationship with Khloe, but possibly his daughter as well. Number 4. Niall Horan. Recently, Hailee Steinfeld has begun to carve a path for herself in the filming industry, as she seems to be casted in new franchises left and right. She's popped up in the Pitch Perfect movies, Transformers, and is now a permanent member of the MCU as Kate Bishop. In 2017, the internet was taken by storm when it was announced that herself and former One Direction member Niall Horan were officially an item. People were so excited to see them together, as Niall was fresh off his split from One Direction and looking forward to his new solo career, and Hailee Steinfeld was becoming well known for her vocal skills after her role in Pitch Perfect 2. Unfortunately, the couple called it quits after only a few short months together, and this left many fans upset but curious as to the true nature of the split. Steinfeld confirmed in her song Wrong Direction that the split came as a result of Niall being unfaithful towards her. While she never actually points him out by name, the lyrics "I probably should have known, but I just wanted to believe you were out sleeping alone," along along with the song literally being called Wrong Direction, are evidence enough to piece together who this thing's really about. Too bad for Niall, as not only does he miss out on dating Haley Steinfeld, but his solo career did not go that well. Number 2, Tiger Woods. Since 1999, the famous golfer had not gone a single year without winning at least one golf major championship. In fact, between the years of 1997 and 2008, he won 14 majors. He was married to a model, he had a beautiful home and pockets full of cash. What more could he want? Well, apparently he wanted someone that was not his wife. In late November of 2009, Tiger was seen by neighbors being chased out of his home by his wife, Ellen Nordegren, with a golf club before peeling out of his driveway in his Escalade and crashing into a fire hydrant and then a tree. He lied unconscious on the street for 6 minutes before coming to, but by that time, it was already too late. News coverage began speculating that there may be a case of infidelity with Tiger and his wife. While the rumors were that Tiger may have had a mistress on the side, it turns out that this guy actually had a lady in every course, so to speak. He admitted on air to the misdoings and lost his endorsements with Nike, Gatorade, Gillette, and Accenture before announcing his retirement from golf entirely. Woods reportedly confessed to sleeping with 120 women outside of his marriage, but it wasn't until April 2010 when Ellen decided to split up with Woods for good, after she discovered one of his mistresses was the next door neighbor's daughter who was in college at the time. Hey, go Capanu! Number 2, Scott Disick. Keeping Up with the Kardashians is a historical series in the world of reality television. For over a decade, fans have been able to watch the family grow both literally and figuratively with the addition of friends, family, and in this case, lovers. Scott and Kourtney's story began where all fairy tale relationships begin, at a famous friend's house in Mexico. In 2006, the pair attended a mutual friend's party at his home in Mexico. A photo from that night shows the two sitting together but nowhere near each other. Now, Disick recounts liking Kourtney immediately, but she wanted nothing to do with him at first. But something must have changed in between A and B, as the two appeared as a couple on the series premiere of the reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians in 2007. At first, the family was standoffish, claiming that Scott was immature and that his loyalty meant nothing. But Kris Jenner, Kourtney's mom, said in one episode that she knew Scott was cheating on her daughter, she just wasn't sure how to go about the situation. Disick denied the claims and reaffirmed his love for Kourtney until he could deny no longer, when sisters Kim and Khloe Kardashian found a series of text messages on an old phone that he had to someone named My Wife. The text revealed that he had cheated on her while the family was staying in the Hamptons. Kim was furious for like a second. A year later, she would announce that the pair were expecting their first child together, seemingly making the whole cheating ordeal water under the bridge. But it didn't stop. Over the years, the couple has split and healed over and over and over again, and one time, Scott Disick even entered rehab with the support of Kourtney, and he still cheated on her. In 2015, another round of allegations came out and they split again, only to get back together again, and then they split up again. As of today, they seem to have called it quits for good, but good God, does that sound like a complicated relationship. And number 1, Justin Bieber. Justin is one of those pop stars that you want to like, but sometimes he's just a little too chaotic for his own good. In his early days of fame, Bieber admitted in an interview that Disney Channel star Selena Gomez was his celebrity crush. Following the interview, their managers arranged for a little get-together for the pair, and the sparks were flying. At first, it seemed like Justin may be in the friend zone, but after a while, it was revealed that the two were in fact dating, and we couldn't have been more excited for them. Unfortunately, Justin was not as committed to the relationship as we might have hoped. Rumors began circulating that Justin was cheating on Selena with Rihanna. Yeah, that's right, that was a rumor. And while I'm pretty sure it wasn't Rihanna, like we can agree on that, it was confirmed that he was cheating with someone. When Selena found that out, the couple quickly split. They got back together and split up a couple more times after that, but their relationship just seemed to be getting worse and worse. So maybe these two finally calling it quits was best for everyone.
Starting off our list today, in the number 10 spot, we have Khloe Kardashian and Tristan Thompson. On February 19, 2019, news would break and claim that Tristan Thompson had cheated on Khloe Kardashian with her sister Kylie Jenner's best friend Jordyn Woods. If the drama couldn't get any more messier, Jordyn would then, on March 1st, 2019, address all the allegations when she sat down with Jada Pinkett Smith for a tell-all interview on the Red Table Talk show. And in the interview, she would say, "On the way out, he did kiss me. No passion, no nothing on the the way out. He just kissed me. It was a kiss on the lip, but no tongue kisses. No making out, nothing. While the couple would later get back together, sadly it wouldn't be the first time that the basketball star has been caught cheating on the reality TV star, as back in March of 2018 the basketball player was also videotaped kissing another woman just days before his and Khloe's daughter was born. And let's not forget, when Khloe finally gave him a third chance, he would shock the world again after we found out that he cheated on Khloe for a third time in December 2021 after US Weekly confirmed that Marley Nichols welcomed a baby and the father was indeed Tristan Thompson. But I guess that's what happens when you date a man from Canada, as we aren't always as nice as you would think we are, because the world is lying to you. Number 9. Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber first started dating in 2010, and from the start of their relationship, they were always off and on for around 8 years, with their relationship definitely being an interesting roller coaster ride, as one month they would be spotted packing on the PDA or walking hand in hand. The next moment, they would both be shading each other all over social media or in interviews. With many fans trying to figure out why the couple just wasn't getting along, we would all be left feeling pretty shocked after Selena Gomez's best friend Taylor Swift seemingly revealed that Justin Bieber once even cheated on Selena after she liked a super shady post about it on Tumblr. This would all happen after Taylor entered into a pretty public feud with Justin and his manager Scooter Braun. Taylor then went on to like a button on the post that read, "We haven't gotten to communicate our differences. You cheated on her best friend, then publicly sided with the man who made a revenge tape against her. Was she supposed to invite you over for tea? F out of here." Hey my little bobas, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you never have to miss out on what we might just cover next. And trust me, you definitely don't want to miss the tea in the next video. Number 8. Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson quickly became couple goals after they started dating in 2009. However, when rumors started to hit the web and claim that the Twilight actress had cheated on her then boyfriend with married Snow White and the Huntsman director Rupert Saunders, the internet would lose its mind and it would force Kristen to come out and issue a public apology for the scandal. In her apology, Kristen would then say, "I'm deeply sorry for the hurt and embarrassment I've caused to those close to me and everyone this has affected. This momentary indiscretion has jeopardized the most important thing in my life, person I love and respect the most, Rob. I love him, I'm so sorry." In the beginning, the couple tried to work things out through the scandal and they stayed together, but after a year they realized they just weren't meant to be together and they decided to move on and call it quits, crushing all of our Twilight fantasies in the process. Number 7. Zayn Malik and Perry Edwards. At one point in life, we were all obsessed with Zayn Malik's and Perry Edwards' relationship, and then we would all be left feeling heartbroken in March of 2015 after rumors started to circulate online claiming that Zayn had cheated on the blonde beauty after he was pictured cozying up to a mystery girl. Zayn first tried to deny all the allegations by heading to his Twitter page to say, "I'm 22 years old, I love a girl named Perry Edwards, and there's lots of jealous F's in this world. I'm sorry for what it looks like." However, in August of 2015, just months after Zayn decided to leave his boy band group One Direction, fans would be devastated after he revealed that he officially called off his engagement to Perry. The Little Mix singer then later alleged that Zayn did in fact cheat on her after she released her song, "Shout Out to My Ex," and shortly after, Zayn would then jump into a relationship with Gigi Hadid, so maybe she was the mystery girl after all. Number 6. Louis Tomlinson and Eleanor Calder. Louis Tomlinson and Eleanor Calder were together for 4 years before they decided to break up in March of 2015, with reports at the time claiming that their breakup happened because the musician just had a hectic work schedule. People magazine would even report an inside source told them they tried really hard to make it work, but it was just impossible. He was always away for 9 months a year and they just grew apart. But apparently, this just wasn't the case. Just after the article was published, Louis would then be spotted kissing another girl in Thailand, and after the picture started to go viral, rumors quickly started to spread online, and in them, people would claim that Louis had cheated on the social media star. Louis would then later confirm that the rumors were true after he released various songs about the incident in his debut solo album, Walls, where he sang about hurting someone he loves, and it didn't take long for fans to prove that that person was in fact Eleanor. Number 5. Niall Horan and Hailee Steinfeld. When rumors first started swirling online claiming that Niall Horan and Hailee Steinfeld were dating back in February of 2018, just after they were spotted getting pretty cozy at a Backstreet Boys concert. When they were finally photographed sharing a kiss in August of 2018, fans of the couple would finally get the confirmation they were waiting for, and the couple was in fact dating. But unfortunately, the two would have to call it quits in December of that year, and after they went their separate ways, it definitely didn't seem like they ended on the best of terms. As later, Hailey would even come out seemingly to shade the pop star multiple times on her Instagram stories when she released her song Wrong Direction in January of 2020. She even went on to allege that her relationship with Niall ended because he cheated on her. When she sang in her song, "Looking back, I probably should have known, but I just wanted to believe that you were out sleeping alone. Love me with your worst intentions, didn't even stop to question. Every time you burn me down, don't know how, for a moment, it felt like heaven. Love me with your worst intentions, painted us a happy ending." Hailey was definitely in her feels, but hey, at least she was able to write a fire song about it. Number 4, Tana Mongeau and Brad Souza. Tana Mongeau and Brad Souza first made things official back in December of 2018, and after they started to post a ton of PDA snaps together. But in April of 2019, Tana revealed that they had split after Tana caught Brad sending another girl some pretty flirty DMs. Tana would then reveal everything that happened in the YouTube video when she said, "A lot of crazy things happened at Coachella, and during it all, I wound up finding out a lot of really effed up stuff. I woke up the next day expecting to have like a private breakup, and I got online to see a bunch of screenshots of girls saying and showing a lot of stuff. Some of it fake, some of it not, going really viral about Brad." In his own words, Brad would also confirm that all the allegations in Tana's videos were true when he said, "What happened in her videos is true. There was a little bit of over-exaggeration to some of it, but what she said was going on is what I've done. I mean, I don't blame her for speaking her mind and her truth and her heat." Brad then went on to claim that he never physically cheated on Tana, but he did admit he was sending inappropriate messages to other girls when he said he was under the influence, and regardless of the situation, when he realized what he did was wrong, he wished he could take it all back because no one ever gave him what Tana was really giving him. Number 3, Noah Cyrus and Lil Xan. Noah Cyrus and Lil Xan made their first red carpet debut as a couple in 2018 at the MTV Video Music Awards in August of 2018, and they would shock their fans after they split just 1 month later. After their breakup didn't exactly end well, with both stars accusing each other of cheating on their social media accounts, Lil Xan first took to his Instagram account to say, "I feel like I'm probably being cheated on. I broke up with her because she was all over another dude." Noah later then came out to shut down all the rumors when she decided to write her own post on what truly happened after she took to her Instagram to say, "The truth is, I haven't seen him in almost a week. Every time we try to hang out, something always got in the way. I then saw a picture of a girl on a court in his story at 2 a.m. When I FaceTimed him later on, I noticed a hickey. He told me it was just a bruise. I decided to give him the benefit of a doubt and ignored it. Cheaters like to accuse their partners of cheating to make themselves feel less guilty," which is the truth. "This isn't the first time this has happened to me, and I'm being forced to deal with some crazy allegations when I'm not even sure where this all came from." The singer then went on to call the rapper by his real name, Diego, when she said, "I've been there for you during your dark times, Diego. When you felt alone, like no one was there for you, I was. If this is your way of breaking up with me and breaking my heart along with it, then you've succeeded." Number 2, Charlie D'Amelio and Chase Hudson. When Chase Hudson was accused of cheating on Charlie in March of 2020, just 2 months after they were speculated to be dating, Josh Richards' diss track called Still Softish would spark the cheating rumors and accuse Chase of his infidelity. With the two publicly splitting in April of 2020, the relationship rumors would start to make headlines shortly after. Fast forward to July 2020, Charlie would then accuse Chase of cheating on her, and in August 2020 on Twitter, when she posted a now deleted tweet saying, "I hope she was worth it." In response, Chase would then take to his own social media in a since deleted post to say, "All of this drama is going on because I kissed Nessa when we were both single." Charlie then quoted his tweet with his post with a kiss and added, "Then you shouldn't have come over to my house after without telling me." The entire internet then started to freak out after Chase then posted a since deleted photo from his notes app where he seemingly called out his friends and other influencers for their alleged alleged infidelities. Charlie then went on to call the singer out again after she took to her Instagram to say, "Stop deflecting your actions onto others because you can't take responsibility, Chase." On July 8th of 2020, Charlie then took to her Instagram Live to tell her fans that she and Chase had a very long talk and they just realized that they weren't right for each other. And coming in at number 1 today, we have Dove Cameron and Ryan McCartan. Once upon a time, Dove Cameron and Ryan were the ultimate Disney power couple. And if you're a Disney fan, then you know that the stars' relationship wasn't exactly pretty when their relationship came to an end. When Ryan accused Dove of cheating on him during a Q&A session with his fans, after a fan asked him what his proudest moment was, he would say, "Within 2 weeks, my fiance cheated on me and left me, and I almost passed away from food poisoning. I truly didn't think I would be able to make it through that part of my life. I'm proudest of the light that came from the darkness and my ability to survive and turn the anger and sadness I had into positive life changes and a new way forward." Ryan would then later talk about his relationship with Dove, and he would head to his Instagram account to say, "I think Dove and I fundamentally agree about our relationship with one another. We were young and immature, our relationship was dysfunctional, we were a bad match. She has made claims about me and about our past that I don't think are fair or even true, but she is entitled to her opinion." While the actor also claimed that he was also entitled to his own opinion, he then went on to explain that despite their rocky past, the two had no hard feelings between each other now. But talk about a messy breakup, and Disney definitely wasn't happy about this scandal, that's for sure. Starting off our list today at number 10, we have Maud's son. So imagine waking up one morning and realizing your fiance isn't in bed with you, and when you go to your notifications on your phone, you realize that she is now with Tyga. Well, this is exactly what happened to Maud's son. With Maud speaking out about his relationship woes, it turns out that he was really as blindsided by Avril Lavigne's relationship with Tyga just as much as the media is making it sound like. So if you haven't been following last week's shocking reports that started to hit the internet and media outlets stating that Avril had called off her engagement to Maud's son, now there really wasn't much information as why this happened, but things got even more complicated when you factor in that Avril was spotted out with Kylie Jenner's ex-boyfriend Tyga just before she broke things off with Maud. And now there's a lot of speculation surrounding the idea that Avril cheated on Maud, as she has now been seen kissing Tyga and holding hands with the rapper in public. Who would have thought in 2023 we would see Tyga move on from Kylie Jenner and get with Avril Lavigne, and then see Maud's son cry about how he's so heartbroken. Number 9, Selena Gomez. So back in 2016, Selena Gomez had a pretty savage moment with her on and off ex-boyfriend Justin Bieber. Just after Justin started his new relationship with Sofia Richie, when he posted a photo on Instagram of the two, Justin's fans hit the comment section where they started to get pretty savage. It got to the point where Justin even had to take to his social media account to say, "I'm gonna make my Instagram private if you guys don't stop this hate. It's getting out of hand, and if you guys are really my fans, you wouldn't be so mean to people that I like." The situation then escalated further when his followers noticed that Selena had posted a comment on the picture of Justin and Sofia as well, when she went on to say, "If you can't handle the hate, then stop posting pictures of your girlfriend, LOL. It should be special between you two only. Don't be mad at your fans, they love you." Justin then went to clap back by saying, "It's funny to see people that used me for attention and still try to point fingers this way. All love." Selena then came out to expose the sorry singer by implying that he had cheated on her by saying, "Funny how the ones that cheated multiple times are pointing fingers at the ones that were forgiving and supportive. No wonder fans are mad, sad, all love." So Hailey should probably watch out. Number 8, Miley Cyrus. 2023 has so far been a big year for Miley with the release of her newest album, Endless Summer Vacation. I don't think any of us were really ready for her hit single Flowers, which is featured on the album, where she drops some major Easter eggs, all while shading her ex Liam Hemsworth. So it got to the point now that he's actually suing Miley for smearing his name. With fans drawing connections between the lyrics and her relationship with her ex-husband, it is clear that Miley really all wanted us to know the tea. As not only did the Wild Child drop the song on Liam's birthday, but she also dissed the song that Liam dedicated his last dance to at their wedding. But she also wore a suit that Liam wore to a red carpet where he told her to behave, and she also filmed the video in a house where he apparently brought 14 other women to so he could cheat on Miley with. There's also this gold dress that resembles a picture of what Jennifer Lawrence once wore on the red carpet one time, and it's speculated Miley wore this dress to address the rumors that Liam cheated on her with Jennifer. And considering that Jennifer once said in an interview that she had kissed Liam when they weren't on set, the rumors are just true. Hey my little peaches, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Number 7, Megan Fox. Back in February, Megan Fox had us all asking some major questions when she deleted her Instagram account just after she shared a post on the social media platform that hinted at a possible breakup with MGK. And in the post, she may or may have not hinted that the rapper had cheated on her when she posted a series of photos of herself and a video of an envelope being burned in a fire pit where she paid tribute to Beyonce's 2016 album Lemonade when she wrote, "You can taste the dishonesty." She then went on to unfollow everyone and went on to follow Timothée Chalamet, Eminem, and even Harry Styles. Also, just before she deleted her account, one fan started to suggest that Kelly was unfaithful in the couple's relationship, writing, "He probably got with Sophie," to which Megan responded by saying, "Maybe I got with Sophie." When Megan did finally come back to Instagram, she did try to deny that MGK cheated on her, but since both have been unseen and quiet on the issue, and it's even been revealed that they may not be together today. So do we think that MGK really cheated on Megan Fox? And if he did, why would he cheat on her with his guitarist when she's not even that attractive? Like, look at Megan Fox. Number 6, Jennifer Aniston. So this story goes all the way back to the 90s, while Jennifer was still dating Brad Pitt. The two by the 2000s were officially married, and they seemed to be like a dream come true. Sadly enough, soon rumors would start to say that Brad Pitt had cheated on his wife, and later on, it would be revealed that this rumor was actually true, as Brad got involved with Angelina Jolie, while he was still married to Jennifer Aniston. The worst part about this whole controversy is that Jennifer once even had an interaction with Angelina, and they even exchanged pleasantries about the latter working with her now ex-husband. As she told Angelina, "Brad is so excited about working with you. I hope you guys have a really good time." But clearly Angelina took "have a really good time" part a little too literally. Then Jennifer Aniston would come out to confirm that the rumors were true by stating that she was devastated by Brad's actions. But honestly, Brad's probably kicking the air right now on the fact that he even left Jennifer Aniston for Angelina Jolie because she turned out to be an utter nightmare. Number 5, Emma Thompson. In an interview back in November, Emma Thompson would sit down with the New Yorker where she would open up about her painful divorce from her former husband Kenneth. Emma and Kenneth first met when they were co-starring in BBC's Fortunes of War, and then they got married by 1989. And they were even said at this time to be a golden couple of the century by the British press until they eventually split. In an interview, Emma would expose how she came to learn that Kenneth was cheating on her. The actor and filmmaker was ultimately having an affair with Helen Bonham Carter, who played his love interest in the 1994 Mary Shelley's Frankenstein at the time. Kenneth had directed and starred in the movie as Victor Frankenstein, while Carter played his adoptive sister and fiancé. Emma then went on to explain that she was blindsided when it came to light about Kenneth's affair, and she was extremely heartbroken by his actions, as they made her feel half alive at one point in time. Number 4, Jennifer Garner. At one point, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck had one of the most dreamiest stories of their time, but like all good things, it came to an end. When the couple finally called off their marriage, it was apparently due to several reasons, but the major issue was because Ben was having an affair with the couple's nanny. In 2016, Jennifer even went public with the allegations in a magazine interview where she confirmed that the rumors were true. In an interview with Vanity Fair, Jennifer would say, "Let me just tell you something. We had been separated for months before I ever heard about the nanny. She had nothing to do with our decision to divorce. She was not part of the equation. But she full on had to be, because how do you get blindsided by your husband sleeping with a nanny until after you get divorced? Something just seems fishy about all that." In the end, Jennifer would then open up about how people shouldn't attack her ex-husband for his mistakes. As she said, "People have pain, do regrettable things, they feel shame. Shame equals pain. No one needs to hate him for me. I don't hate him." Number 3, Beyonce. Not only did Beyonce expose her husband for cheating on her in her album Lemonade, but she would also hint at her husband's cheating scandal in her new tracks of her new album Renaissance. When the singer finally released her long-awaited 7th studio album, which featured 16 tracks including the summer anthem Break My Soul, in multiple songs Beyonce would reference her relationship with husband Jay-Z. Now, Beyonce first spoke about her husband's infidelity back in 2016 when she released the song Becky with the Good Hair. But now Beyonce has hinted at who this woman may be with the track of Alien Superstar, where she sings, I'm one of one, I'm number one, I'm the only one. Don't waste your time trying to compete with me. No one else in this world can think like me. I'm twisted, contradicted, keep him addicted. So who do you think Becky with the good hair is? And let us know in the comments below. Number 2, The Weeknd. Just after Selena Gomez called off things with her ex Justin Bieber, she shortly entered into a relationship with The Weeknd. But just a few months of dating, the couple would call it quits, and The Weeknd would even reveal some pretty dark reasons on why the couple ultimately called things off. But just one day before the news of The Weeknd and Selena's split came to light, Selena was actually spotted having breakfast with her ex-boyfriend at the time, Justin Bieber. And many people then started to believe that Selena's one-on-one time with Justin was the major factor that led to her breakup. And it would be hinted in The Weeknd's song Call Out My Name that Selena did in fact cheat on The Weeknd with Justin. But we already knew this, as it was revealed that when Selena got back with Justin, The Weeknd started dissing Justin and Selena at the same time, and he wouldn't have done that if she didn't cheat. And coming in number 1 today, we have Shania Twain. The fact someone even had the balls to cheat on Shania Twain really has no idea on how bad they actually messed up. But to actually think this rocking country star was even cheated on by her then husband Robert with her best friend, who was also married to a man at the time, is actually truly saddening. As who sleeps with your best friend's husband and even lives to tell the tale? Shania would then tell AARP about how she felt about the whole ordeal when she said, "It's twisted, but so beautifully twisted. Sometimes I get overwhelmed coping with things, but experience also teaches you how to manage. When you get older, you have so much experience at falling and getting up. You're not going to stop falling, but you will get better at getting up and bruising yourself off. I believe that, I've lived that." It turns out that Shania then ended up falling in love with her best friend's ex-husband, and later on they would also get married.